Well, hello again, everyone. So good to see you this Sunday, March 30th, 2025. Welcome in if you are new to us. We're happy to have you, and welcome back to everyone else who's been here. Thank you for being here. We are Sebastian's Army. So good to see all of you. Hello, Coco Pete, all my mods, Christy Smith, Sweet Dreams, Panda Bear's mom, Magic Star. Did you change your name, dear? Robin, Lori 626. Brenda Sue is in the house first. And Jen in Georgia, Whispering Winds. Thank you so much for being here to mod tonight. Appreciate you. Truly do. Austin, hello. How are you? That was a great comment. Austin said, apparently I posted too many flyers to local news channels on X. They froze my account for unusual activity. That's actually very funny, and good job. You go, Austin. You go. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful, hello, sweet dreams, a wonderful Sunday. Hi, Lady for Justice. Hello, Joanne McNeil, Christy Smith. Christy says, someone mass reported me on Facebook. I'm in Facebook jail for 188 days. Wow, wonder who this is. Wow. I don't know. Facebook jail. Wow. Hey, Prayer Warrior, how are you? Hi, Ginger Girl's mom. Thank you both for being here to mod. Hi, Canada Blue, Lori Speckman. Good to see all of you today. Here's our question for this evening before we get started. Hi, Canada Blue. Hello, Perfect Pun, aka Jenny Mount. Oh my goodness. Perfect Pun, aka Jenny Mount, she's headed to the safe room. Sirens going off, tornadoes all around us. Where are you? Oh my goodness, stay safe. Hi, Alcoholic, One Sock Candy, Jen, Mama First. So what is the favorite thing you did today on your Sunday? It could be anything. It could be a nap, it could be a movie you watched, somewhere you went. My favorite thing, Jonesboro, Arkansas. Thank you. Well, stay safe. My goodness. My favorite thing that I did today was take the doggies to the doggy park. We had a great time. Yes, please stay safe. Hi, Irene Rose. Hi, Kelly the OG. Hello, Camille Small. So we started we started with the documents yesterday for the emergency motion in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. And we stopped in order to go to Seth's show. So we're going to continue there. We are speaking about Sebastian Rogers today. He is 16 years old, missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. He was last seen February 25th, 2024, reported missing February 26, 2024. The reward has now been raised to $447,000. Almost $500,000. Hi, Gina Marie. $500,000, my friends. So what in the world would keep someone from not collecting that money? It's not worth it. That is life-changing. If you know something, go say something. If you've heard something leading to knowledge, please share it with the police. $500,000. If you're afraid, ask for protection. But please, Nothing's compared to the fear that Sebastian's been going through for 13 months. And 4 days. Please stay safe from all the storms, y'all. Mini Panthers, you're making dinner. What you making? That's a nice chunk of money is right, Jen Jen. You think they may not need the money? Okay, that's a good one, Jen in Georgia. Alcoholics, prayers are being sent out to you, perfect pun. So we are going to continue. I'll recap a little bit for us, but first, real quick, I'd like to read the update on X from yesterday. If you weren't with us yesterday, about the increase in the reward. Hello, Valerie. Hi, Christy Smith. See, I love this. Christy Smith said they may be scared. Go to another city if you have to tell it there. That's awesome. Call dog. And at night, they're not law enforcement. Kelly says, I think they need the money. They just want their freedom more. Jen Shen said if she knew something, she'd be screaming her butt off. And that's a good one too. Even people with money always want more money, in my opinion. All I need is Jesus said. Hi, Becky Laux. Good to see you. So that's a lot of money. But you know what? So was 347,000, right? No one came forward. So I really hope it makes a difference. And I have not heard anything yet, but I haven't been on. I haven't inquired since our live this morning about the possible sighting at the doctor's office in Kentucky. So I have not heard anything about that yet. And I'm sure, like Seth said yesterday on his show where he did a wonderful job. If we will know, we will know when he finds Sebastian, because he will be using his phone to let us know. So let's pray that day comes very soon. And let's pray that it comes with the answer Seth is looking for. I'd sing like Gina Marie says, I'd sing like a canary when it comes to any child for free. Exactly. Right. Just doing the right thing. Christy Smith said, do you all know why Nik Barris said there was no evidence? I don't know why he's been saying some of the things he said, allegedly, in my opinion, Christy. He's backtracked a few times, and in just how it looks is that it was from pressure. That's just how it looks. I would have no idea from who would pressure him. I have no idea, but it just looked like he was asked to make some statements contradictory to what he had put out. Oh, Ginger Girl's mom. You were watching the trial for, okay. That's a great idea. Did it enlighten you in any way? Hi, Stephanie Svoboda. Did someone just send me something? It went poof. I'm not sure. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome in. I hope you're having a great day. Ginger Girls watched Baby Joe Clyde. I went to the doggy park. Yes, prayer warrior. You were wrong. You were incorrect. Hi, Kathy Elliott. Oh, Kathy made pot holders for a neighbor. Cool. We've had that, Kelly. Even a commissioner from Sumner County put out the flyer with the $347,000 reward. I mean, what can you do? I don't know. It's just another thing that I question is, okay, why would people want to minimize the reward for a missing child to people? Right? Why? When a reward is such an incentive, what would be the motive? And I think that's going to take us right into our documents today. So when you say the channels, the creators, Kelly the OG, I'm assuming you're speaking of some of the what we refer to as the hate channels. And that's, anything to toss a little confusion, and it makes no sense. And again, like I said, how do you explain to a judge that you didn't want to report the entire reward for a missing child? I don't know how. Okay. Christy Smith said, oh, snap. Oh, yes. Yes. Got it. So it's frustrating. Don't listen to it. Don't give it any credit. Okay. Do not give it any credit, but we are going to read the update about the reward, and then we'll go ahead and dive into our documents. So get a beverage, get your favorite snack, and let's hit it, because we're going to be here for a while. I hope you're all okay with spending your Sunday evening with me. You know what? Before we begin, I see I need to get my cord. Let me go get my cord. I'll be right back. You gotta follow me around, buddy. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm almost back. Crash goes the cord. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for being here. We're about to read the update from yesterday from at night about the raise in the reward, which is now 447,000. Right. Everyone, goodness, hold on. Sorry. Okay. So good evening, Marikari Kami. Hello, everyone in the house. We were just reading something before my doggy went crazy. Yes, even if dog didn't pay out the reward, it shouldn't matter, right? And they will pay it out. But yes, I don't know why people are so, you got to get your snacks. I don't know why everyone's so belligerent about it, whatever it is, as far as saying it doesn't count, that it's only 50,000. It's such a huge incentive for someone to, if they are in fear, to come forward, ask for protection, right? Yes, Becky, I agree with you too. There is foul play in this case. Hold on. I'm sorry. So I'm back. I don't understand it either. Hello, YouTuber. So let's go ahead and read the update. Hi, Grave Crime with Grace. Good to see you again. Sunday, it is so hard to believe it is the 30th of March. Unbelievable. Oh, sorry, guys. I thought I had it in. Okay, so let's make sure you have it. I will enlarge it for those of you who haven't seen this. And there is a new flyer out. And if you were not in the live this morning, you'll want to go back and watch that because Seth Rogers has asked for assistance with flyers and phone calls and just getting Sebastian's face, name, story everywhere. And so we can help. There's a way to help. And if you want to volunteer, you can go to wearesebastiansarmy@gmail.com. And then on Seth Rogers community posts, he has numbers and addresses in states for each state. I'm going to work on Arizona. There's lots of things we can do. We do have someone in our chat who is a truck driver who is going to be posting Sebastian's flyers at rest stops in Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. Thank you so much. Another individual was traveling and had shared digital flyers with a friend traveling. So I really appreciate you all jumping into action because this is a call for action. We're still at war. We still need to bring Sebastian home, right? It's a great looking reward. Yes, it's almost $500,000. And so here's what At Night had to say. Thank you all for being here. Reward for missing teen, and this came out yesterday from At Night Intelligence. Reward for missing teen Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers surges to $447,000. For immediate release, March 29th, 2025. Hendersonville, Tennessee. Dwayne Dog Chapman, allied with At Night in standing for Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, has driven the reward for information securing the safe return of 16-year-old Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, or the capture and conviction of those behind his disappearance, to a staggering $447,000. So this says or, okay? The flyer says and, I believe. Let's keep an eye out for that so we can let them know. Or the capture and conviction of those behind his disappearance. 447,000. 500,000 reasons to come forward. Ask for protection if you're scared. Sebastian, then 15, was last seen on the evening of February 25th, 2024, leaving the Texas Roadhouse in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Reported missing the next morning, February 26th, his absence has fueled a year-long manhunt across state lines and beyond. No proof marks him lost forever. His father, loved ones, and a coalition of investigators cling to the conviction he's out there, alive, waiting to be found. We call on the public again to act with precision and purpose. Silence unverified whispers on social media. Hold back from naming names or chasing shadows unless law enforcement leads the charge. Keep tip lines clear of noise. Rumors, theories, and recycled chatter waste time a boy doesn't have. That's so very true, because time is of the essence for Sebastian. Only hard facts, direct, firsthand, or confirmed, belong in this fight. And, time is of the essence. And that's why I'm glad their emergency hearing has been filed, approved. And hopefully it'll be coming very soon and stop some of the things that have been occurring that have obstructed the search, misled the search for Sebastian. If you know where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is, act now. Sumner County Sheriff's Office, 615-451-3838, TBI, 1-800-TBI-FIND, or tips to TBI at tbi.tennessee.gov, FBI, tips.fbi.gov. You can call Dog the Bounty Hunter at 835-5364 or call and text at Night Intelligence at 844-922-3236 and email Sebastian at manhunts.one. And if you do see Sebastian, please call 911 immediately. Thank you. Here's the new flyer. Love the new photo that's been released. Absolutely love it. Missing teen, a review of surveillance footage. And the reason I like to read these is it does change. The information does change. We have information, different medical information in here. Okay. And medication information. A review of surveillance of Sebastian Rogers from February 25th, 2024 in Hendersonville, Tennessee suggests he may be in danger. Reward $447,000. Call dog. And it says here, information sought by Dog the Bounty Hunter. Sebastian, 16, has medical conditions, including autism. Last seen February 25th, 2024. Call 844-922-3236. Now, I do want to point out, and it says Sebastian has vanished February 25th, 2024, after dinner in Hendersonville, Tennessee. That is the last proof of life that we have for him. The Amber Alert was issued February, it says 26, 2024. I believe it was February 27th. I'm not sure. The disappearance of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers marks over 1 year as of March 25th. March 2025. The search remains active. And on February 25th, 2025, the reward for information leading to his safe return surged to $347,000, fueled by Dwayne Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dog's involvement to find the now 16-year-old Tennessee teenager. Dog has a far reach and a lot of fans. And those fans' eyes are turned towards Sebastian now, so it's very positive. Sebastian was last seen February 25th, departing Texas Roadhouse with his mother in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Then he was 15 and stood 5'5", weighed 120 pounds about. Had blonde or brown hair with brown or hazel eyes. And Seth answered for us in chat today that they turn with his moods. And I shared that I have a child that does as well. So they do turn with the moods. So there are two eye colors that Sebastian's eyes could be hazel or brown. And remember, they could put colored contacts in. They could have colored his hair. He could have a beard for all we know, because he was starting facial hair 13 months ago. So let's talk about where they've added about the medical. He has high functioning autism and a rare chromosomal syndrome, conditions that may challenge but not impede his ability to return home unassisted. While some speculate he needs medication, and this is all in red, while some speculate he needs medication, possibly for managing potential seizure risks tied to his syndrome, no evidence confirms it's life-saving or that he'd face immediate harm without it. His health concerns center on long-term care rather than acute dependency. So he's independent. He is independent in his daily activities, okay, in his actions. The health concerns are is his long-term care for Sebastian. On March 29th, 2025, At Night and Dog the Bounty Hunter enhanced the reward to $447,000 for the safe return of Sebastian and the apprehension of those responsible. So we'll find out if it's and or. We'll let them know there's a little bit of a clarification needed. This is great, though. They've added a lot of information. This is really excellent. Listen to this. Intelligence gathered over the past year suggests Sebastian expressed feelings of unease days leading up to his disappearance. And I repeated it earlier when I read it, and I want to repeat that again. Intelligence gathered over the past year suggests Sebastian expressed feelings of unease days leading up to his disappearance, making it critical to investigate his final known moments, including his time at Texas Roadhouse in Hendersonville, Tennessee. So according to this, his time at Texas Roadhouse is still critical to be looking at. It is extremely possible that he may have been coerced or manipulated, potentially leaving him missing without realizing it. Let's go on an adventure. Everyone knows where we are, that kind of thing. Isolated from external communication like internet, phone, and television. The Amish communities, and like we talked about earlier, some of those crop farms where people go, they sign up to go work and live on a crop farm. They're big out west. That was one of the theories for Daniel Robinson, who went missing in Arizona. I talked to some millennials and they said that that's something that they think they would do if they wanted to go off the grid if it was on their own. But imagine if someone was trying to hide with someone. I don't know what type of identification they need to get into those camps, and that's something that I wrote down today for us to identify. But yet based on current intelligence, there's no indication he is harmed or deprived of his basic needs. Theories of him being lost in the woods or on a boat in a lake have been dismissed, and he is considered alive until proven otherwise to his father, Seth Rogers, and immediate loved ones. Absolutely. And I, as a parent, I understand that. I would need proof that my child was no longer with us. The FBI has offered up to $50,000 as part of the reward. At Night Intelligence operates independently of law enforcement, deploying its own resources and intelligence capabilities to locate Sebastian. So there's where the rest of your reward is coming from. Dog's team remains deeply involved, leveraging confidential sources to pursue new leads. So that's got a lot of information in there. So I like to read them because as we get new flyers, hi Magic Star, as we get new flyers, there's information in there. Hi SI Officer. Hi Laura Y. There's often updated information in those, and they're important. Welcome in, everyone. We're going to continue with reading the court documents. Stephanie, I wish I could help, but I can't do much from Australia. Prayers are plenty. Hit the thumbs up to circulate the videos. Talk about him. Share his picture with people in Australia. We don't know where Sebastian is. He could be anywhere. Remember, Where in the World was the title of Seth's show last night. And he could be anywhere. Seth did a fabulous job last night. Conducted himself so well. He's a man on a mission. He's asked for help. He's called Sebastian's army into action. He has called Sebastian's army into action, posting numbers from all over the United States where we can fax, go to, post, call, email, flyers, make them aware of Sebastian's story. Just unbelievable. Amazing that he put that together. So go on over, and if you haven't subscribed to Seth's channel yet, please do. Yes, Magic Star, the list Seth made is absolutely amazing. I agree with you. But please go over, look at the list. There's Arizona numbers. I'll work on those. If anyone wants to take another state or work on Arizona, work on whatever state you want to work on. But remember, Seth wants us to let him know underneath in comments, he said in his show yesterday, what we've done. Okay. So he knows. Cadet reporting for duty, sir. Good for you. All I need is Jesus. That's the spirit. I refuse to let this young man be forgotten too, Gypsy. Sebastian Army is not going to let that happen. We're just not. We're just not going to let that happen. And these documents are trying to voice and really seek relief from people who are trying to allegedly muddy the waters. Hi, Raymond Thomas. Hello. Ginger Girl's friends in Wisconsin had already sent the flyer to local law enforcement. Go Wisconsin. Excellent. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So it's over 200 pages, and we are probably, I'm not sure, on page 20. So we've got some reading to do. Oh, you're taking a mental break from TT, SI officer? Well, we're glad to have you over here at YouTube full time. Always good to have you. I'll recap a little bit from where we began. Plaintiffs are Dog, Seth, Tony, Hong, Bullhorn Betty, Brittany J, Jason Crime, Canine Handler, and Nik the Hat. And the defendants are Barbecue Lady, Granny's Watching, Stephen Fisher, and Does 1 through 14 inclusive. And yesterday, what we had read, they had listed the names of some creators already. Sorry, I'm trying to find my notes. And here it is. It was B. Tim, Queen Bee, J for Justice, Crimson, Cluminati, and Cletus are some of the DOEs, okay? So the first part that they have discussed and asked for relief from is regarding its emergency motion for protective order and to enjoin unauthorized recording and excuse me, unauthorized recording, broadcasting, and doxing, and for good cause shown. Hereby ordered and decreed as followed. Pending further order of this court, defendants and any persons acting in concert with them are hereby permanently joined from. And what they're saying is they don't want any more recording, photographing, live streaming, disseminating images, audio, or transcripts from the February 18th hearing that happened in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. No more doxing, threatening, publicly exposing the identities or personal information of any attendees, witnesses, court personnel, or other parties, as well as photographing and filming without permission of the judge was brought forth. Okay, they have been asked, they were given 5 days to permanently delete the anything that has to do with these live streams. Remove, delete permanently all live streams, photos, videos that have to do with from within the courthouse to the best of their ability. And the names on there, people going and looking to see if some of them had been already taken down. What I've told they were not, but I haven't checked today. Any failure to comply shall be considered a violation of order of the court. And what they did say is that this court historically does uphold contempt of court. They have been known to do so. So they are asking for an emergency hearing and a protective order and or preliminary injunction as warranted against Barbecue Lady, Granny's Watching, Stephen Fisher, and in support thereof as follows. Okay, so we went through all of that, and it's really about talking about that day in court. Okay, interfering, putting things out, filming, sharing, live streaming about that court date, okay, and other things. So they took quotes from live streams from, I believe it was Queen Bee and possibly J is for Justice. And then we talked about the pattern of conduct after February 18th being the anti-SLAPP motion that was filed by defendant saying. And what it said is that on February 18th, Defendant Aligned DOE at Queen Bee hosted a 6-hour YouTube live stream covering the court hearing, utilizing a makeshift press pool arranged by the defense without the court. And they give a lot of quotes during their live streams, okay? And these are a lot of Queen Bee quotes. Go back and watch tomorrow. And then it talks about courtroom photography. Inside the courtroom that was without permission. And making statements about some of the and making statements about the individuals who this is filed on their behalf. So we are now going to go through, and you can go back and listen, but you're caught up. We ended with the Nancy Grace interview. Let me get to it. So where were we? We ended with Nancy Grace. I'm going to get us, now that I got us caught up, I got to get us back. Hold on. We had ended up more on no, we read that. Okay. We read that. Interesting. Okay. Here we go. So we're right here. Okay. So it says, let me come over and check on all of you before we get started. Welcome everyone in. Hello, Jody Blonde, Susan Sylvie. Hello. Hi, Austin. 45 DOEs in this one. Wow. On the 26th. Let me go. Should we go pop over to that one instead? Let me go look at that real quick. Y'all. Yeah, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Gotcha. Let me see something real quick. I'll be right there, and we will continue on, my friends. So I don't know. We will continue on. It's interesting because 50 potential DOEs, okay? And and Austin counted 45 in this one. So far, we've read there are 6 mentioned. So Becky, do you have receipts or timestamps where we can watch and hear about this? That would be amazing. Becky's saying that Green Hoodie sent an audio to the FBI and they finally heard what was said on it. And the information. I'd love to know, and I'm not verifying that by reading it. I would love to have verification on that, Becky. Is there any way you can get that for us? Or tell us where you heard that? That would be wonderful. I would love to hear about that. Well, let's go ahead and continue. And I like to try and use the YouTube names, but please excuse me if by accident I read an actual name. I'm not doing it on purpose. Hello, Wheezy Girl 99. Valerie, member for 3 months. Valerie says, in my opinion, Jay, I live in Wyoming. I want to help find him. Wonderful. If you go to Seth R. Rogers, Sebastian's father's YouTube channel, in his community post, he has numbers for Wyoming, addresses where you can send flyers. Everything's there. It is an amazing amazing data that he's put together. So he really has called Sebastian's Army to help out. If you cannot do that, many of you have your other talents. You're doing other things, telling his story, you're praying, you're thumbs up, watching all the videos everyone's putting out, you're liking them, you're telling his story. Some of you are boots on the ground, right? He is tireless. He's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Last night was an amazing show that Seth did, and Tony. He conducted himself very well. I was glad that he went on to take the focus away from some of the drama and put it back on Sebastian. And Seth made it very clear. Seth does lead this team. He leads. He created Sebastian's Army. And his one goal is to locate Sebastian. Okay, so we're going to help. You're in Cali, you haven't seen him. Okay, well, there's ways to, have you put up flyers or shared? You all tell his story, show his picture. I have a flyer of Summer and Sebastian on my back windows. You could do that. We brainstormed some great ideas today that I'll be looking into seeing what we can do about that. Wheezy Girl, thank you for your support for a month. Thank you at Crime Time Buzz and mods for everything. Thank you. We have great mods here. They keep this chat accountable and respectful and classy. Sometimes they make a mistake and hit as it moves, they'll hit the wrong message, and I do it too. Forgive us. We're not doing it intentionally. Okay. So let's see here. Let me know if I'm wrong, but anyone notice the arcade, everyone, what they were wearing, and then how Melissa supposedly posted a pic on February 27th. Was she supposed to be giving us the latest gathering? Are you talking about the birthday party, SI? That's hilarious, Whispering Winds. Did you see what the last 4 digits are in that? Whispering Winds, Donna? Love it. Did you see the last? I've never noticed the last 4 digits. Oh, you mean that last day, what they're wearing? Well, Seth saw video and image of him that last day at the arcade. And remember, the picture from Costco was, I think, shoved in his face as he walked in the front door, allegedly, which I believe. We all have a right to our opinions here. We're theorizing. We are speculating. This is for entertainment purposes only. When we make our comments, we are not accusing anyone. We are theorizing, trying to figure out where sweet, handsome Sebastian Rogers is. He is 16 and he was reported missing 1 year, 1 month, and 4 days ago. And we need to bring Sebastian home. He changed his clothes from then, but the arcade, everyone is wearing the same as they did on his birthday. Did you point that out to Seth, SI? Let me write that down. But have you pointed that out to him? I love it, Michelle Carter. Love it. I had never noticed that. Even if mailing packages, insert a flyer in the letter. Right. That's funny. I had never noticed that on the phone number. Okay, so let me ask Seth about the arcade close if you have not yet. Okay. And I want to say something else to this wonderful crowd. Thank you so much for how respectful, considerate, and thoughtful you are when Seth does come in. He was in today, he was in yesterday, and clearly you're making him feel comfortable because he's returning. So thank you so much for providing a safe place for a family member to come be and listen about their child, right? I know there is a website if you want to volunteer, and it is wearesebastiansarmy@gmail.com. And Penny Parker, I think you can email there and they will get you some flyers. Also bracelets, I believe. And it is wearesebastiansarmy@gmail.com. Okay. And they will send you flyers. They will send you what you need. If they have them, they'll send flyers. Okay. But they've been sending out packages for people who've requested them. Okay. So go ahead and do that. We are sebastiansarmy@gmail.com. And that will help you get in touch with those items, the flyers and stuff. Okay. So we are sebastiansarmy@gmail.com. And I'm actually going to reach out to him too. So let's keep going. His show was wonderful. If you missed it, please go watch it. It was just great. But wait till we're done here, please. So good to see you all. Let's keep going. Very interesting. I'm Becky, what you said about the GH. I love. Oh, okay. So Becky said that her friend who said this wants to find Sebastian badly, get justice. She is from Canada. She's a psychic medium. Okay. So she's the one who said Green Hoodie called FBI and left an audio. And she is 80% sure what is said is true, in my opinion. Okay. Well, hey, I'm not going to knock anyone's talents right now because we don't know what will lead us to Sebastian, right? Thank you for sharing that, Becky. I appreciate that. Okay. Yes, please consider joining the channel. I was going to have an extra one today. We just haven't gotten to it. Because we had a live this morning. I wanted to share the updates and talk about Seth's show, his call to action, the reward increase. Now we're here, but we will get to it. Thank you so much. Oh, phone's going off. Okay, we are going to. Can who come on the show? Who are you asking about? Oh. Join your band. Haha. Yes, please join our membership. We have a great time Saturdays together. We always end up coming up or something dawning on us as we're sharing information, or I'll share something new and someone else it's just, we have a good time. We really do. We've been focusing on Sebastian right now because that's our main case, but not to say our lives won't include other things as well. Penny Parker, that is so kind of you. If you email that email, we are sebastiansarmy@gmail.com. You can share that with them in the email. And that is very gracious of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. The psychic. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I could get her, if I would have, I don't know. I've been I had one bad experience of negative experience of having someone up on the channel. So I'm kind of been staying away from that since. So it was kind of a bummer. Had a great time though. You know who I would love to have on again though? I would love to have on Silvers again. So I could reach out to him, maybe work on something like that. Okay. But Penny, that's very gracious of you. I'm sure that they would love to have some help with funding flyers. They get as many as they can from Sumner County Sheriff's Office, Seth said. But then when their funding runs out for that period of time, then they go and they do it at their own expense. So yes. Absolutely, Angelina. Angela, have her email me. Do you know her too, Angela? Have her email me. Okay. Let's go ahead and get to it, my friends. Okay. So we're on item number 44, page 18, if you're following along. Saying further alleges, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. I said I'm going to try not to do that. Granny's Watching further alleges manipulative media practices by questioning Plaintiff Rogers' involvement with an interview pulled by Nancy Grace. A, why would Nancy Grace pull her interview? Did it come down because Nancy Grace fell for actual manufactured drama? And she explains and the exhibit is listed here, and we will go through the exhibits. I'm not sure how far we're going to get tonight, but we're going to keep going. This is part 2. And then B, they did a good campaign, but it won't last long because when their litigation falls, ... you're going to have to question the intelligence. Wow. C, who needs PR? Who needs a cleanup crew? What these outrageous non-factual building fiction bull BS when their child's missing. So the exhibits are Exhibit 24, and we will visit those. On February 25th, 2025, Granny's Watching hosted another live stream titled Request for Admissions. First up, Nik the Hat and Seth, Intelligence Agency. See Exhibit 25. Pages 1 through 5, 36 through 37, 46 through 47, 47 through 48, 49 through 51, 70 through 71, 126 and 138 through 139 demonstrate ongoing harassment, defamation, direct threats, and witness intimidation, along with potential wire fraud through soliciting funds in exchange for sharing legal filings. See Exhibit 25. Early in the live stream, Granny's Watching seeks audience contributions by stating, A, and I've never watched her, by the way, set a goal for today, even if it's $1, $5, or $50, like Sasha did. It counts. And if we meet the goal, we will read Brittany J's admissions. Wow. Exhibit 25. B, if the respondent party does not respond, the matter is automatically admitted. That was a quote from Granny's Watching. Exhibit 25, another quote. Certain entities will be looking forward to excuse me. Excuse me. Certain entities will be looking forward to a thorough examination of Seth Rogers because of this frivolous action, end of quote. Exhibit 25. So, between March 15th, 2024 and March 23rd, 2024, defendant-aligned DOE at UA Crimson Tide and DOE Rebecca 81 USA, that's a new one, posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding Riley Strain's mother. Oh, see Exhibit 37. Between March 29th, 2024 and March 31st, 2024, defendant-aligned DOE Crimson Tide posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding the Riley Strain case. See Exhibit 38. Okay, hold on. Between March 29th, 2024 and March 31st, 2024, defendant aligned DOE at UA Crimson Tide posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding the Riley Strain case. On March 31st, 2024, defendant aligned DOE at Crimson Tide tweeted to DOE Derek L., stating, I've been watching you since Big Brother and I'm watching your podcast, but I want to share something with you to dig a little deeper into this case. Please DM me. Oh, Derek Lassiter. Okay, got it. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. If you go back and watch Derek Lassiter's video on his show on Sebastian. Go watch for yourself. Go watch that. He is I believe, former detective. So we have introduced into this also was Derek and Rebecca 881 USA. She must be a Twitter person. Okay. So on April 8th and April 24th, 2024, defendant aligned DOE Crimson Tide posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding an individual associated with a high-profile case and Nate Oates. Sorry, didn't mean to have my cursor there. See Exhibit 40. Okay. On April 24th, 2024, defendant aligned DOE Crimson Tide posted an image suggesting that an individual associated with defendants in a high-profile case always looks good, in quotes, and has a, in quotes, shady background. Exhibit 40, image 2. Now, I'm not sure why they're mentioning all the times Crimson Tide has tweeted about missing people and in individuals. Maybe I would just be guessing. So they're just proving she's right here that she's involved or something she's saying in these cases. And when we get to the exhibits, it should make a little more sense. Between April 29th, 2024 and April 30th. And welcome in everyone who's just coming in. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. And thanks for spending your Sunday evening with me. If you're in evening, wherever you are in your day. Between April 29th, 2024 and April 30th, 2024, Scott Magnus at Scott Magnus 2 and defendant aligned DOE at UA Crimson Tide engaged in a Twitter X exchange regarding the responsiveness of user at Bonnie_Jet. Between April 25th, oops, sorry, y'all. Between April 25th, 2024 and April 28th, 2024, defendant aligned DOE UA Crimson Tide engaged in Twitter activity involving defensive posturing, potential alias concerns, and an intimidation attempt. See Exhibit 42. Wow. On April 25th, that's the same. Okay, so between April 25th and April 28th, they're saying there was a intimidation attempt, defensive posturing, and potential alias concerns. And now they're telling us on April 25th, Scott Magnus questioned defendant aligned DOE at UA Crimson Tide's need for an attorney and warned against threats, stating, why would I need an attorney? I'm asking questions just like you were asking the police chief. Also, don't threaten me. It's the last thing you want to do. End of quote. Between May 10th, 2024 and May 14th, 2024, defendant aligned UA Crimson Tide and defendant Stephen Fisher engaged in Twitter X activity related to the Riley Strain case. Oh, maybe it's showing a history of Fisher and Crimson Tide, and that's why this is being shared on May 10th, 2024. And I'll come back over and read your questions and comments in a couple of minutes to rest my voice. On May 10th, 2024, Defendant Aligned DOE at UA Crimson Tide reposted defendant Stephen Fisher's statements regarding the Riley Strain investigation. See Exhibit 45. And on that same day, Defendant Aligned Crimson Tide also reposted defendant Stephen Fisher's tweet asserting that the family approved an investigation parallel to law enforcement efforts. B. On May 13th to 14th, 2024, Defendant Aligned DOE UA Crimson Tide amplified defendant Stephen Fisher's statements by tagging journalists and urging engagement. See Exhibit 44, and we will be seeing the exhibits. Thank you for going through this with me as a family. C. On May 14th, 2024, Defendant Aligned DOE Crimson Tide stated he's actually coming for Riley Strain. End of quote. So Crimson Tide wrote that. He's actually coming for Riley Strain. On May 10th, 2024, Defendant Aligned DOE Crimson Tide reposted defendant Stephen Fisher's statements on Twitter X regarding the Riley Strain investigation. See Exhibit 45. On June 2nd, 2024, Defendant Aligned DOE UA Crimson Tide sent a direct message on Twitter X requesting a private conversation with user at no info needed 707. See Exhibit 46. Between May 10th, 2024 and May 14th, 2024, Defendant Aligned DOE UA Crimson Tide and defendant Stephen Fisher engaged in Twitter X activity related to the Riley Strain case, Exhibit 47. On or about February 7th, 2025, Granny's Watching broadcast a YouTube live stream containing defamatory and harassing statements against plaintiffs Jackson, Nik the Hat, At Night Media, and Rogers. She also stated that her lawyer put his foot in quotes. She also stated that her lawyer put in quotes his foot on Castor's neck. See Exhibit 27. Wow. Granny's Watching falsely attributed a statement to Plaintiff Jackson about opposing counsel, saying 53 minutes, timestamp from 27 seconds to 30, quote, they literally said that he is a back alley attorney and he's not happy about them saying that. Exhibit 27, page 17. And wow, okay. Defendant, and it was false is what they're saying. B, Granny's Watching mocked plaintiff's legal filings, saying at 2 hours, 31 minutes and 28 seconds to 30 seconds, my attorney at one point said this is just absolute dribble that I can't even dumb myself down enough to know how to respond to this. And at 2 hours, 43 minutes and 2 seconds to 30 seconds, she said, oh, am I? It's funny because my attorney's the one that came and put his foot on Castor's neck, isn't he? My attorney's the one that currently has your spokesman silent as a FART in the wind. Exhibit 27, pages 92, 100 to 101. Granny's Watching encouraged retaliation and mocked plaintiffs' RICO claims, saying at 3 hours and 33 minutes to 3 hours and 34 minutes and 30 seconds, I always ask all of you to please not even hate, watch, or go in and comment. Get the F out of here. And sure, you can be bothered by, okay, let's start that over. Sorry, I messed that up. The quote begins by Granny's Watching saying, I always ask all of you to please not even hate, watch, or go in and comment. Get the F out of here. Sure, you can be bothered by my attorney's emails. I'd be bothered too if I had a RICO case and had to have another attorney come in and tell me exactly what RICO is. Exhibit 27. D, Granny's watching disparaged Nik the Hat's professionalism, stating at 4 hours and 27 minutes and 6 seconds to 30 seconds, quote, Nik may have been let out of this civil action here, but nonetheless, he was deeply enthralled in it, right? He doesn't even have the respect to sit up when he's speaking. It's not very professional, is it? End of quote. On or about February 13th, at the end of this page, I'll come over. On or about February 13th, 2025, defendant Granny's Watching hosted a YouTube live stream titled The Scrambling Has Begun. Recaps, reality, and reviews, featuring Barbecue Lady as a panel guest. During the broadcast, they mocked the court, discussed a courthouse publicity stunt, and expressed intent to manipulate legal outcomes. See Exhibit 28. Quoting, Granny Watching planned, defendant saying planned, I want to reenact what's going to happen in court, so I think I need a judge's outfit, end of quote. At 3 hours, 1 minute and 42 seconds, Barbecue Lady said, I just want to know if you'd be willing to make a short clip. I'm bringing my own camera crew. C, at 3 hours, 2 minutes to 3 hours and 2 minutes and 15 seconds, Barbecue Lady elaborated. So I've got this thing envisioned in my head, slow motion, walking out the doors, walking down the steps, putting our glasses on and walking out. D, Granny's Watching said, you know what I find repulsive? The entire filing. That's what I find repulsive, the entire filing. Okay, what do you guys find more repulsive? Their photos being taken in a public space, or the fact that they filed this off the back of a missing child? Put a 1 for the missing child, put a 2 for their poor photos being shown. How about we put a 3 in my chat if you think it's absolutely ludicrous that we are even having to continue to address people behaving this way in this case. Give me a 3 in my chat and I'll come on back over. Let's go ahead and do that, because we'll just go ahead and play the numbers game too. Put a 3, my friends. Hello, everyone. How are you? Yes, this RICO has been going on. It started with a warning, went to a cease and desist. It's gone on and on and on. Okay, and no court should have to address this kind of behavior when people are looking for a missing child. And I pray the judges head it. I pray he's had it this time. Seeing these people, seeing the same people, the same problems coming up in the search. Angela Salatino, I appreciate your work and honest discussions. Thank you so much. And thank you for the sweet donation. And yes, if you would like to give me an email or have her email me, I'd be happy to talk with her and find out a little bit more about what she thinks she saw and all of that. And I don't disregard anyone's talents right now, because, when we're searching for missing children, we just never know, right? And I just, the more the merrier, anyone looking, right? Hi, Kika. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Frank. Okay, so 3's in my house. Good. You agree. This is ridiculous that we're reading yet another couple 100-page document. When will it stop? Hopefully it will end and the judge will put a stop to it and be very firm this time. And be very firm and put an end to it. And that's what I'm hoping. So everyone who wants to cover Sebastian is covering Sebastian. That we are not their content. That Green Team, Seth, Tony, Dog, Nik, anyone's not their content except Sebastian. Yeah, the wire fraud charges are serious, Wheezy Girl. Yes, I meant to stop on that. Many times I've warned, and if this is a judge who's seeing that, it is a complete waste of the court's time. Hey, Tony Mathis, welcome in. Welcome in. It's so good to see you. You guys did such a wonderful job last night, Tony. You really did such a wonderful job last night with that show. Seth's a man on a mission. We already looked at his posts with his database that he's put out. We are already talked about things we're doing. We have a truck driver, Tony, who's going to put flyers at the rest stops in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. One of our subscribers had their ex frozen today by sending so many digital flyers out. So we're on it. We're on it. We talked about bumper stickers today. We should get some bumper stickers going. So thanks for being here. We're going through this. We hope this is it, Tony, that we have to keep going through these things and that the hate will end and everyone who's talking Sebastian will be searching for Sebastian. That's our hope, right? That's the plan. We're going to bring him home, get justice one way or another, right? Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, the show was fabulous. You had over 3,000 people in there, Tony. It was wonderful. Seth was well spoken. He showed strength. And even in his darkest hours, in the things that have occurred, and he's learned since Sebastian's gone missing, that's occurred in his ex-wife's home, he still says to America's Most Wanted, please contact Sebastian's mother as well. He's got a lot of grace, a lot of faith, and I really, really, I really thought the same things of Joe Petito. And I have to say that I just really, really think Seth he reminds me of the way not just Joe, let me say the Petitos and the Schmitz, how they conducted themselves. And Tony says the hate will never end until people quit getting paid to do so. Amen to that. And compensation can be in many forms, correct, Mr. Mathis? Many, many forms, my friend. Hello, Frank. Hello, everyone. Yep. Stop watching the channels. That's right. Perfect Pun says she wrote her governor. Thank you. Sarah Huckabee Sanders and posted the new flyer on my next door, and tomorrow Ace customers will have the updated flyer in their bags. Jenny, thank you so much for putting those in customer bags as you're checking them out. That is amazing. We are Sebastian's army, and we're going for it. We are going to do it. Yes, he needs answers. Yes, we need answers. He needs answers. We need to locate Sebastian. Absolutely. And thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate that, Jenny. Let's go ahead and keep going, everyone. See how far my voice will take us this evening. And thank you for being here. Okay, on February 21st, 2025, Defendant Granny's Watching hosted a YouTube live stream titled A Look Back at the Egregious Behaviors That Led to the Criticism of Seth Rogers and his spokesman, Tony. In the House, Tony, during which she attacked Plaintiff Rogers and his media involvement, implied coordinated media manipulation, and suggested unauthorized courtroom video exists. See Exhibit 30. Hey. Oh, I know. Tony, while I have you in here, can you do me a favor? Can you ask Seth if the photos he saw of Sebastian at the arcade that day, the bowling alley, were those the same clothes he saw him wearing in the photo from Costco? Well, that would be a different day, friends. Is it the clothing earlier from the arcade to any other images he saw later on in the day? Oops. Yeah, Austin is boxed out. You got it. X has had it. You were too busy working. Hold on. Okay. Mods, can you put out an explanation how people can do super chats, please? How they can click for chats to do super chats? I'm receiving a notice here. So, and also the iPhone membership. It's different for some reason. I think they said, yes, it's the iPhone memberships that is always bringing an issue. Am I the only channel people have an issue with that on, or is that all channels, friends? Yeah, we need to get some bumper stickers out. I was telling everyone earlier, being in Arizona a couple of years ago, my mom and I saw Alicia Navarro before she was found, a car drive by us on the interstate with a big sticker in their back window with Alicia's picture and information. And we not only noticed it, we discussed it, and I knew about her story, so I shared it to my mom. So anything like that, even do what I do. I have Sebastian and Summers flyers in my window in my car. Okay, I don't have stickers or anything, but I have their flyers taped inside my windows. But you guys are amazing what you've accomplished today. I have something that I'm working on. But yeah, Tony, if you happen to know if all the pictures from that day, if he's wearing the same clothes, different clothes. No, Becky, I doubt that. Well, I will ask. What did SI officer ask? Hold on. This SI officer. Tony, had you heard of the PFs trying to stop U.S. Marshals assistance is the question. And also they want to know about the clothing from the arcade throughout that day. Because Seth saw the bowling alley clothing. Were there photos from BJ's that day? What do we have? Did the clothes align? All day long, did they align? Meaning, also, didn't you notice that about the clothing being the same? Were they the same from the birthday party is what they want to know. Was the clothing all the same from the photo at the bowling alley on the 25th? The same from the birthday party pictures. So, and if I didn't say that right, okay, here she goes. Thank you. Thank you. So everyone is wearing the same clothes as in December at the arcade as the photo Melissa posted on 2/27 at the bowling alley gathering. Okay. And I'm going to take a picture of it because the iPhone link, my friends, if you could put that out, I would much appreciate it. I'm going to take a picture of that SI. And if we don't get that answered, I will send that in also. Okay. And if you know if the PS refused Marshall's assistance. Got it. Okay. Got it. I wrote it down too, just in case. Okay. Thank you for the great questions. And I want to thank all of you for everything you've already done today and probably last night since Seth's call to action. Thank you so much. And since we discussed it this morning. Thank you, Valerie, for you're in Wyoming. You're going to help. You're going to hang flyers. You all are just amazing. Let's go ahead and keep reading. Thank you for being here. One hour, 18 stamp from 15 seconds to 30. Granny's watching attacked Seth and his media involvement stating, quote, "At what point, Tony Mathis, as a national spokesperson, do you step up to the plate and do your job, which is to keep the focus on Sebastian again?" End of quote. Interesting comment based on SF being in their mix, right? That was just like a clown show of X comments, allegedly, in my opinion. At 2:12:49 to 2:13, defendant Granny's watching implied coordinated media manipulation by plaintiffs stating, so the reason Tony says that is because all day long, accounts under Seth's name and Tony's name, which they claim not to be them, hyped everybody up. They would be going on Smiley's that night. I don't know what day that was. What day was this they're talking about? Oh, February 21st? Okay. At 2:40 and 12 seconds to 2:40, 30 seconds, Granny is watching attacked Seth Rogers' parenting and financial status, stating, quote, I find men who don't work, who don't schedule a routine, who don't take care of their kids, who come in asking why there's 2 bags of fast food but none for them, and scream that other women are WH, ORES, and have nothing to offer their kids. I find them to be oh so fancy worthy. Wow, end of quote. And then continued by saying, why would they ever consider allowing Sebastian to live with Seth? Was Sebastian's behavior so out of control they just didn't care? I don't think it's about not caring. The fact of the matter is Seth was asked a year prior to take Sebastian. Oh my goodness. Okay, you all, we know the facts of this, okay? That whole thing is not factual. Okay? It's oversimplifying a complicated situation, and Seth was arranging he was put Sebastian on a waiting list for online schooling so Sebastian could get his ABA daily therapy, could come to his home. He could get counseling that he needed for the traumas that he had occurred, and they would get him established and ready to go back to a physical school. Seth had plans in motion. It's a shame that it's a shame that whoever took Sebastian didn't just let him go live with his dad's in May. It's a shame he didn't get to his dad's in May and he'd be safe. At 2 hours 55 seconds, from 8 seconds to 2 hours and 55 minutes, 8 seconds to 30, Granny's watching suggested unauthorized courtroom video exists, stating, quote, bye. I love the fact that they're like, I'm out of respect for the attorneys. We're not going to play their voices. Then those voices did you play? Then whose voices did you play? And you know what? I'm telling you right now, there's a video of the courtroom. They better be careful. And that statement is underlined and boldened. He ain't going to frame us. We got all of that everywhere. Filed this case from the beginning in the bushes. F. Continues, Granny's watching implied plaintiff Seth Rogers is an abuser, stating, quote, to me, Seth is abusive, in my opinion. Perhaps Sebastian. I definitely think he is. He looks just like him. End of quote. So I do want to point that out to you, that is Granny's Watching's channel, and she is referring to Sebastian as an abuser because he looks like Seth. And if you watch her, I would hope that's enough reason you don't again. G, calling the missing child an abuser because he looks like his father, and calling the father an abuser. When there's CPS reports on the other side, and that's why, and let's just come back over, and I might as well cover it real quick. When people lie, they're usually the liars, okay? When people say you're a cheater, they're usually the one cheating, right? Okay, so if you apply that theory, to what was just being said, okay, that, about Sebastian, just think about that, why are we making up things about a missing child, right? Why are we making up things about the missing child? Why would anyone call a missing child an abuser? Perhaps Sebastian. I definitely think he is. He looks just like him. He looks just like him. So far, that's one of the most disgusting statements I've heard in this case. Other than someone's, well, I'm not even going to repeat it. It's too disgusting. And I think it came from the same channel. Granny's, well, because I was texted at work over and over and over how many people were so upset. Granny's watching mocked plaintiff's legal team in court filings, stating, I know you guys saw that thing on the docket from the judge that was old. That was just putting on there that we had the hearing. But his right here, I thought was so important, end of quote. End of quote. Oh, yes, sorry. Let me take the banner down. Thank you for letting me know. Sorry about that. Okay. Appreciate it, my friends. Maj, you're doing a great job. Okay, where was I? I know you guys saw that thing on the docket from the judge that was old. That was just putting on there that we had the hearing. But this right here, I thought was so important, end of quote. And then 2 hours, 56 minutes and 30 seconds to 2 hours and 57 minutes. Granny's watching states, quote, anyways, this says over here, the plaintiffs, which include a media company and a television personality, now they're a private intelligence group, are more than capable of counteracting any false statements in the public sphere, end of quote. At 2 hours and 57 minutes, let me enlarge it for you guys. Is that better? At 2 hours, 57 minutes and 9 seconds to 30 seconds, Granny's watching, said, quote, then basically admit that by having Dog the Bounty Hunter and At Night, they made their tension on Sebastian's case reach national levels, and within a week made the attention tenfold what it was. I'm going to pause there with that quote, and I'm going to counteract that statement because absolutely the involvement of Dog and At Night took Sebastian's case to national levels because of who Dog the Bounty Hunter is. And believe me, why would anyone be complaining about that? That's not tension. We want it to be at national levels. Why would national levels be attention to someone? Right? And why would you be complaining that within a week of Dog and At Night coming in, the attention on the case was tenfold what it was? And that's important to remember because when talking about a slap suit, it is to stop you from speaking against issues of public concern, end of quote, whatever. Okay. On February 18th, number 62. On February 18th, 2025, defendant Granny's Watching hosted a YouTube live stream titled I Can Feel It in the Air, in which she discussed the plaintiff's legal filings, plaintiff Seth Rogers, and his supporters. See Exhibit 31. During the live stream, Granny's Watching made the following statements. A, I'm going to skip the timestamps, friends. You can see them. This is from Granny's Watching. A, quote, all right, so I wanted to read you guys, comma. So, you know, they filed their 10 documents while we were waiting on that. So we went ahead and responded. And this is a memorandum of law, and it's to strike their filings because their filings are over 30 days late, right? See Exhibit 31, page 1. Then she says, she continues on later on, 11 minutes in. Granny says, did Tony Mathis, on behalf of Seth Rogers, say that he didn't pursue Katie as a minor because she was dating somebody and a married man with a kid? End of quote. No, that's not what was said. She was dating someone and a married older man, which is why Seth thought later, let's not even go into it. Let's just ignore it. The whole thing's ridiculous. Why are they even backtracking? He dated Katie when she was of age to date. Seth had no idea they would ever date because Katie was dating two guys at the same time, one of whom was much older, and he really didn't think she was interested, and who would when someone's dating two other people? So he was of age, she was of age, excuse me. They didn't date when she was younger. She was of age. So I'm glad that's being brought up in this too. Quote, Granny stated, quote, two grown men victim blame a child victim who's removed from her predator mom's home and placed into foster care. Now, and that's another thing. Okay, but why is, if she is which indeed she's a child victim and her mother is a lifetime registered sex offender, and she was removed from her mother's home and placed into foster care. And I hate that for her. And I'm sure she hated that for her. But then why would she allow Sebastian to have FaceTime calls with her and to have contact through Grandma Suzanne? Did a grown man admit he knew another man was sleeping with a child and all he did was decide he wanted to pursue her instead? No, he conveniently waited until she was 18 to then impregnate her and marry her. End of quote. Wow, you all. We are going to really get to see levels that Can you imagine being a fly on the wall when the judge is listening to all that? And it's about a missing child? And they're talking about the father? D, Granny's watching quotes. When's the last time Seth put together a search party? Matter of fact, I thought Dog said the search for Sebastian was coming to my area like a month and a half ago. End of quote. E, have they searched out in Pennsylvania? And I'm not being sarcastic. I'm saying these creators who are in Pennsylvania, have they done boots on the ground out there? I have not in Arizona for Sebastian. I'm just wondering what other states we've had other YouTubers do boots on the ground. And it's a thought. I mean, I'm putting out flyers and stuff. And I need to start writing down where I put flyers and sending it to Seth so he knows what's covered. And then on E, she said, Granny's watching, said, the only thing I see Seth doing is searching for panels to go on to disparage Katie, end of quote. And we just talked about how gracious, like how kind he's been. There's a lot he's learned since his son went missing that occurred in his ex-wife's home. And he has not gone on a verbal attack. He has handled himself well. I would assume there's going to be many lawsuits, civilly as far as other ones, coming down the pike. I would assume CPS will be on there, among other people, and that is my opinion. Please make your own. Always make your own. I'm just giving you the information. I'm sharing my thoughts, and you certainly don't have to agree with me. And we learn from each other when we differ. We share with each other, right? On February 22nd, 2025, Barbecue Lady hosted a TikTok live stream titled Barbecue Lady TikTok Live, in which she discussed plaintiffs, their legal counsel, and court proceedings. See Exhibit 32. During the live stream, Defendant Barbecue Lady made the following statements. So right at the beginning, the first 30 seconds, she said, quote, we will not be showing all the documents, but we will be taking a few clips out of there so that you guys can see it. We're not making it up. See Exhibit 32. And she's talking about what? discussing the legal proceedings again. Okay. 2 minutes in 2 minutes in, 30 seconds in to 3 minutes in, Granny or barbecue lady said, quote, basically, Lesniak went in there and asked for a continuance. It was denied. Said he needed limited discovery. It was denied. He was not allowed to enter any evidence. His little flash drive he was waving around in his little unsealed envelope. And this is in bold. I think that whenever you guys hear the responses from the judge, it might put a better perspective as to what was going on, because she cut him off a bunch of times, and it's honestly embarrassing. I have secondhand embarrassment for Lesniak. End of quote from Barbecue Lady. C, Barbecue Lady says, quote, I wouldn't use Lesniak if he were paying me to represent me. That's how bad it is. End of quote. Ooh. Defamation of a lawyer. Interesting. D, 4 minutes in to 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Barbecue Lady continues, quote, this was the first anti-SLAPP case that's been heard in Pennsylvania since it was recently put into law last July of 2024. And basically it prevents frivolous lawsuits from costing people tens of thousands of dollars to defend themselves just to get to the end and say, it's dismissed. Okay. E. She continued, quote, Nik, Hong, and Julia, ... showed up in her fatigues, not there as a witness for the military. People were saying it was totally illegal what she did, end of quotes. Oh my goodness. F. Quote, with the anti-SLAPP, they can actually award up to 3 times the amount. So that would be, I don't know, $115,000 each person if they decide to make a statement. G. Barbecue Lady says, 7 minutes in and 24 seconds to 30 seconds, quote, I want my name cleared. I want an effing public apology from every plaintiff, and I want the money returned to the people who donated it. I do believe that I'm entitled to punitive damages, end of quote. And then she continued from 8 minutes on to 8 minutes, and I can't read that. She said, how about this? Okay, this bottle. You're a effing piece of shit. You're an effing loser, blah. You can say whatever you want. Nobody can tell you to stop your opinions or your First Amendment speech. And people are like, this isn't about First Amendment. The F it isn't, end of quote. Wow. 11 minutes and 30 seconds into 12 minutes. They're just mad they're sitting on an effing basement of their mom's house drinking cans of Pepsi and effing eating their mom's cooking. I don't effing know. Probably wanting them to move the F out. What an embarrassment for the neighborhood. J. Quote, we will be going, this is Granny's quote, or Barbecue Lady still. Excuse me. We will be going through it and putting some of the actual documents up on the screen for you guys to view. So we're going to have some of that included in there, which is perfectly legal. I've already checked with the attorney, end of quote. K, quote, if somebody really wants the transcript that bad, it's probably going to cost you about $1,000, end of quote. On February 26, 2025, Barbecue Lady hosted a TikTok live stream titled Barbecue Lady TikTok Live, in which she discussed legal proceedings, the anti-SLAPP motion, and plaintiff's legal counsel. On February 26th, Barbecue Lady hosted a TikTok live stream titled Barbecue Lady TikTok Live, during which she discussed her critics and legal proceedings. See Exhibit 34, and we will. A. Barbecue Lady said, I feel like I'm being cyberstalked by a large group of an enterprise, end of quote. Then B, defendant Barbecue Lady stated, quote, it's more like a cult, end of quote. Between March 13th, 2024 and March 22nd, 2024, Crimson Tide, or DOE Crimson Tide, who had been inactive on Twitter, now X, since May 28th of 2023. Okay, so there's the relevance of some of the relevance. Resumed activity by retweeting and posting content related to defendant Fisher's coverage of the Riley Strain case. See Exhibit 35. Between March 13th and April 8th, they've established a connection alleged between Crimson Tide and Fisher. Between March 13th and April 8th, 2024, DOE at UA Crimson Tide, who had been inactive on X, formerly Twitter, since May 28th, 2023, resumed activity by posting tweets related to the Riley Strain case. See Exhibit 36. Between March 15th, 2024 and March 23rd, 2024, defendant-aligned DOE at Crimson Tide and Rebecca81 USA posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding Riley Strain's mother. Ooh, see Exhibit 37. That's going to show patterns. Between March 29th, 2024 and March 31st, 2024, UA Crimson Tide posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding the Riley Strain case. See Exhibit 38. On April 8th, 2024, X, formerly Twitter users, OFI, at OFire Search, and Stormos posted regarding DOE Crimson Tide and the Riley Strain case. See Exhibit 39. On April 8th, 2024 and April 24th, 2024, DOE UA Crimson Tide posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding an individual associated with a high-profile case and Nate Oates. See Exhibit 40. Between April 29th and April 30th, 2024, X, formerly Twitter, user Scott Magnus at Scott Magnus 2 and DOE Crimson Tide engaged in an exchange regarding the responsiveness of user at Bonnie_Jet. See Exhibit 41. Between April 25th, 2024 and April 28th, 2024, UA Crimson Tide posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding defensive posturing, potential alias concerns, and an intimidation attempt. See Exhibit 42. Between March 22nd, 2024 and April 13th, 2024, defendant-aligned DOE at QueenBee0888 posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding the Sebastian Rogers case, including sharing a YouTube live stream and reposting a tweet from On Patrol Live calling for information regarding Sebastian Rogers. On April 13th, 2024, journalist Brian Enton also posted about interviewing Riley Strain's parents. See Exhibit 43. Between May 10th, 2024, it's interesting, Brian Enton mentioned. Love Brian Enton. Learned about Brian during the Gabby Petito case. Between May 10th, 2024 and May 14th, 2024, DOE Crimson Tide and defendant Fisher posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding the Riley Strain case. And on May 10th, defendant Fisher issued a statement regarding the Riley Strain family's autopsy and investigation. See Exhibit 44. You guys doing okay? Let me pop over real quick, say hi. Everyone good? Hi, Sassy. Hello, Karen Powers. Hi, Kika. Did we get that iPhone directions out, anyone? The iPhone directions for people to join? Oh, Prayer Warrior, thank you so much. Prayer Warrior says, you can tell Jay's a teacher. She reads so well, and this is really long, in my opinion. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. Bye, Penny Parker. Good night. Thank you for being here. Hi, Donna, 66. Who else has joined? Sassy, Karen, Kika. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Captain Jules. Hello, dear. Canine Captain Jules, thank you for your super sticker. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate you being here. We're reading your document here. We hope relief is granted. You all deserve it. Thank you for being here, Jules. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure. And if you haven't subscribed to Jules' channel, please do. Mods, if you can put Jules' channel in the chat, that would be great. She's very informative about searching and the things we need to know about dogs and training, and when a dog reacts and acts, it's just wonderful. So I recommend go on over there and sub up to that channel. I am to Bear says, I need the Cliff Notes. Seriously, it's long, right? It's long. When we get through, I'm hoping I don't know how long we'll get through tonight, but we'll keep plugging away for a while. Okay, everyone? I know it's long. A lot has happened, right? I really wish this document were on finding the person who had Sebastian and how they found him and where he was found and all charges that were being filed, right? YouTube says Jay cannot see any iPhone link. Oh, here it is. Thank you, Sassy. Here you go. Phone users must sign into YouTube from Safari, select my channel, and then you'll see the join button. Oh, thank you. Good to know. I'm actually going to screenshot that myself so I have it. Thank you, Sassy. Okay, let's keep going. Thank you all for being here. We are continuing on. Chat Cafe, hello. Thank you for your emails, by the way. Jay, if I email you the poster I made on Facebook, can you share it? Sure. Sure. I need to look at it first, but of course, yes. What is it a poster of? Let me say that first. Yes, Google does own YouTube. Yes. Or sign in from Google Chrome. Thank you all. Thank you again. Yes, Town Chat. I'd be happy to look at it and share it. Absolutely. I'll share it on my live if after you, but probably not tonight because we're already, unless you're speaking of tonight, just let me know. I'm going to go back over and read. Okay, so we are continuing on. Okay, a lot of about DOE, Crimson Tide, and establishing their relationship on X and in missing children's cases, and as well as with Stephen Fisher. Jen in Georgia had a Girl Scout cookie break. I hope you sent me some Thin Mints, Jen. They're my favorite. Okay, let's keep going. Enjoy those Girl Scout cookies. Everyone get your snacks, get your drinks. We're going on. We're moving on. Okay. On May 13th to the 14th, DOE, Crimson Tide, amplified defendant Fisher's statements by tagging journalists and urging engagement. On May 14th, Crimson Tide posted, he's actually coming for Riley Strain. Between May 10th, 2024 and May 15th, Crimson Tide and defendant Fisher posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding the Riley Strain case. See exhibits 47 and 8. On May 30th, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher posted on X, formerly Twitter, about visiting Hendersonville and the challenges of the search for Sebastian Rogers. DOE Crimson Tide retweeted defendant Stephen Fisher's post. See exhibit 49. On June 7th, 2024, DOE Crimson Tide and defendant Fisher posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding the Riley Strain case. Defendant Fisher stated, quote, I have received quite a few calls and messages today since Nik Barris reported about the autopsy of Riley Strain. As the investigator on this case, I can tell you that neither I nor the family has heard anything from the medical examiner's office. We are waiting just like everyone. End of quote. See exhibit 50. Between June 9th and 10th, Crimson Tide and Jennifer Coffindaffer posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding the Sebastian Rogers and Riley Strain cases. See Exhibit 51. You all know our friend Jen Coffindaffer, Break the Case. Between June 7th and June 11th, 2024, DOE, Crimson Tide, and others posted on X regarding the Riley Strain autopsy and investigation. See Exhibit 52. On June 10th, 2024, Crimson Tide posted, so I just got off the phone with the ME's office, and the autopsy is still listed as pending, end of quote. On June 10th, DOE, Crimson Tide, replied to Jennifer Coffindaffer saying, quote, so the ME officially released their report, end of quote. On June 10th, 2024, Jen posted the full autopsy has been released and there are no signs of foul play. There were no drugs in his system and no signs of trauma. On June 10th, DOE, Crimson Tide, posted, quote, I literally almost threw my phone when that came up on my phone. Such irresponsible journalism, end of quote. On June 12th, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher and Phelan Nicole posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding misinformation and social media conflicts. See Exhibit 53. So that's occurring in other cases, allegedly, that he's working on. Defendant Fisher posted, quote, I am certain we will soon see at Coffindaffer FBI and at Court TV start to backtrack on their incorrect statements about Riley Strain. For that reason, I want to make one final statement so everyone understands that the news reports from Coffindaffer and Court TV are factually wrong, end of quote. Between June 17th and 18th, plaintiff Julia Valenti, canine handler, and Ethan posted on X regarding dog training. See Exhibit 54. Sorry about that, Julie. On June 17th, 2029, plaintiff canine handler posted, and the reason why I look at the cameraman is so that when I reviewed this footage later for my Dog Team Pro training log entry, I would know that this was the moment where I identified a clear indication, end of quote. On June 17th, 2024, Ethan replied, quote, oh, wait, do you mean you review this afterwards with the trainer somewhere else, not search area, and they verify it later? That's what you meant by trust your dog, end of quote. On June 18th, 2024, DOE Terry tweeted, quote, this answered the question of lower teeth marks. I am now back to leaning not guilty. Hashtag Karen Reed. See Exhibit 55, Tweet 1. June 19th, 2024, DOE Ethan. Who is Ethan? DOE Ethan replied, they don't look like dog bites, but the dog may have disappeared, so a comparison couldn't be made, end of quote. Between June 18th and June 24th, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher. On June 19th, 2024, DOA Terry and DOA Ethan at Rorschach's lowercase dog engaged in Twitter X discussions about the Karen Reed case. See Exhibit 59. On July 11th, 2024, so yes, Stephen Fisher has been involved in many missing children's cases. This wasn't his first. On July 11, 2024, DOA Ethan's posted on X, formerly Twitter, challenging plaintiff canine handler's qualifications. And we've heard since that TBI has backed and verified the qualifications. Between July 13th of canine handler. Between July 13th and July 15th, 2024, Ethan and the White Rabbit posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding the identity of an individual in a video related to the Sebastian Rogers case. See Exhibit 60. On September 5th, 2024, Plaintiff Nik the Hat posted on X, formerly Twitter, and sent a text message regarding his approach to the Sebastian Rogers case. See Exhibit 61. On September 4th, 12:15 p.m., Nik the Hat texted, "You know this will be a big commitment, right? If we get involved, there's no going back until we find the kid. It could be a year-long thing, a week, or indefinite." End of quote. On September 5th, 2024, Nik the Hat posted, quote, "Today I'll begin coverage on hashtag Sebastian Rogers. Before we officially got involved, we had to have a serious conversation. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a streamer. I chase untold stories. We chase escaped prisoners. I reminded the team that we don't just cover a story, we commit to it." On September 5th, excuse me one second, I'll take a drink of my Coke. On September 5th, 2024, Charlene posted, quote, "Please stay away from JLR and SF. Their credibility is so twisted. They are biased and have concern in finding Sebastian." End of quote. On September 6th, 2024, DOE at Crimson Tide replied, quote, "It's JLR, not JRL, and they're not their credibility and biased, not bias." But should I actually break down what you're trying to say? Learn words before you tweet. Wow. DOE Ethan or about September 29th, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher was photographed with CP, KP, defendant aligned DOE Cluminati, DOE Cletus, and defendant aligned DOE Crabtree, with a commentary related to the Sebastian Rogers search effort. See Exhibit 62. Between September 29th and September 30th, defendant Stephen Fisher, DOE at AU Crimson Tide, posted on X, formerly Twitter, regarding search efforts for Sebastian Rogers. See Exhibit 63. On September 30th, 2024, DOE at UA Crimson Tide replied, "I can't wait for you to come get back and get my boots on the ground again during the days I'm not working. I can't wait for you to come back and get my boots on the ground again during the days I'm not working." End of quote. On October 1st, 2024, Stephen Fisher, defendant and defendant-aligned DOE Crimson Tide, posted on Twitter X about search operations in eastern Tennessee. See Exhibit 64. Defendant Fisher tweeted, quote, "We just stopped searching for the night in eastern Tennessee. We are looking for a man who was captured on video going overboard when his boat hit a bridge. His girlfriend was also in the boat, but managed to hold on to some trees and was later rescued. We're still searching for ... End of quote. Defendant aligned DOE, UA Crimson Tide replied, quote, "I'm so glad you were out there helping with the search and rescue efforts. Let me know if you need anything medical supply wise, because we are sending some of our nurses out there." End of quote. On October 5th, 24, a trespassing incident occurred. Oh, I want to write that date down. Sorry. A trespassing incident occurred at plaintiff Hongji's house at his property in Malvern, Pennsylvania. So that was, you all, we were discussing that the other day. It was in October 5th of 24, where that guy that looks like yellow coat was outside his house. 7:16 p.m., a white SUV truck entered the private driveway. 7:16 and 29 seconds, the trespasser, wearing dark clothing and carrying an unknown object, approached the front porch. 7:16 and 39 seconds p.m., the trespasser stepped onto the porch and looked inside the home. 7:16 and 44 seconds, the trespasser lingered on the porch, appearing to surveil the residence. 7 hours, 17 minutes, and 39 seconds p.m., the white SUV truck departed the property. 10:08 and 48 seconds p.m., a Pennsylvania State Police unit arrived in response to the incident. Oh, almost 3 hours. On October 17th and 18th, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher, using the handle @Fisher. By the way, his X account's no longer there. Made several posts on X regarding the Sebastian Rogers case. Fisher claimed to have insider knowledge of Sebastian's experiences and dismissed other accounts as misinformation. He also made accusations against plaintiff Seth Rogers, suggesting an obsession with Katie and disregard for the law. See Exhibit 66. Here's his quote from SF. I know what Sebastian experienced in that house. What you think he experienced is all wrong because you are listening to people that do not know anything. You believe whatever you hear. End of quote. B, quote, involved in blocking their release? Question mark. Because it's against the law for them to be released? I know Seth doesn't care about the law, but this is about Sebastian's privacy, not Seth's obsession for Katie, end of quote. I wonder if he's talking about this CPS stuff. And that would be about Sebastian and the things that would be needed to know about the environment he lived in prior to him going missing. It's critical. But I don't know that that's what they're talking about. Quote, tell her to show the clip. She is full of SHIT. That doesn't exist. I know the contents of the CA restraining order and reports against Seth. I have not seen the Tennessee reports, and I've never said I have. Tell her to show the clip she claims she has. She is a liar, end of quote. On October 19th, 24, SF posted on X, defendant SF posted on X, formerly Twitter, about plaintiff Seth Rogers and related legal actions. DOE Fisher alleged that Rogers had impregnated a minor and hinted at potential criminal charges. I remember that. Defendant Stephen Fisher claimed to have filed legal motions opposing the plaintiff's injunction request. Notice that was claimed to have. At 9 p.m., defendant Fisher stated that discovery would reveal allegations against Seth Rogers involving a minor and potential legal consequences. Quote, one thing I think is a positive about the suit is that it will 100% come out in discovery and be proven that Seth got a minor pregnant when he was in his 20s. And because there is not a statute of limitations on that crime, he will most likely be charged, end of quote. So see the importance of that they've gathered all these quotes because he's deleted his account, but they had gathered them. At 11:30, defendant SF stated that he had completed and was we were on, remember? We were on live, you all, reading the RICO at like midnight, and he had posted that he had filed in opposition to it. And it was an electronic posting, remember, and the courts weren't open. At 11:30 p.m., defendant Stephen Fisher stated he had completed and was filing a non-party opposition to motion for injunctive relief and a motion to strike the plaintiff's pleading. On October 20th, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher posted on X, formerly Twitter, expressing confidence that legal filings would lead to plaintiff Seth Rogers' arrest and alleging that discovery would expose his relationships. DOE Fisher also accused Nik the Hat of using false claims to intimidate critics. See Exhibit 68. Defendant Stephen Fisher predicted that discovery would expose plaintiff Seth Rogers' relationship with Katie and Sebastian. And defendant Stephen Fisher accused plaintiff Nik the Hat of falsely claiming access to user account data as a means of intimidation. Number 104, on October 21st, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher posted on X, formerly Twitter, about the plaintiff's involvement in the search for Sebastian Rogers, accusing them of making excuses for not participating and suggesting they did not care about Sebastian. At 10 p.m., defendant Stephen Fisher stated the plaintiffs were, quote, desperately looking for an excuse, end of quote, to explain their absence from the search. That is actually the pot's calling the kettle black, right? He's representing KP and was representing KP and CP, who hadn't, in my opinion, so much as put a Tootsie out there to search. At 10:05 p.m., defendant aligned DOE Crabtree responded, wow, I have no words, end of quote. between October 21st, 2024 and October 22nd, 2024. You all remember me saying all along, SF is acting unprofessionally. He's saying he's a private eye and acting unprofessionally all over X. He's not doing the Proudfoots any favor. He's unprofessional. And if this goes before court, I mean, what other PI is acting like this all over social media? I mean, and now he's down with his account. He's hiding. He's no longer on this case. He just posted earlier about a new case he's on. Okay. So he couldn't stop himself. Went in the neighborhoods, went up to Texas Roadhouse allegedly with KP. He was saying things about Seth, calling Seth vile names, and making fun of YouTubers all over social media. What professional does that? And now, because it's pointed out it's unprofessional and not accepted, has his tail between his legs and hiding, in my opinion. Between October 21st and 22nd, Fisher and his associates posted on X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube, targeting the plaintiff's legal efforts. Defendant Steve Fisher referenced a canceled press conference, citing concerns about a marching band in quotes, while his associates posted GIFs and memes mocking the situation. Defendant aligned DOE, UA Crimson Tide also participated. 108 on October 8th, on October 22nd, 2024, Defendant Fisher, and I'll be back in there in just a minute. I'm just going to read these next two. Defendant Fisher, and then I'll come look at your questions. Defendant Fisher, Defendant Aligned Crimson Tide, and DOE, here's another one, Jewels in the Mountains 3, Jewels in the Mountains 3, engaged in social media activity related to ongoing legal matters. The posts included references to a, in quote, rehearsal at 9 a.m. Pacific time, gifts and statements aimed at discrediting the plaintiffs, and defendant Steve Fisher sharing a screenshot of the court filing's alleged status. See Exhibit 71. I'll come over now. I want to check on everyone, see how you're doing. Hello, everyone. You hanging in there? Everyone hanging in there? Let me see if we have. Earlier in our live, someone said SF was back on X. Is that right? Well, let's check it out. I will check it out right now. As of yesterday, I didn't see him, but that doesn't mean he's not back on today. I will check it out. Yep, his account's back up. And let's see if anything regarding Sebastian's up or if that's all been deleted. Oh, no, he still got it up. He said on March 22nd, I don't ask for a lot, but if there is a universe, please let Hong not be lying for once. I am registered as physical service only, so they will have to print, ship, and have a process server. I don't know. Server serve it on me. They have the wrong address for me, so they will try day after day to serve, and it will never happen. They will have a U-Haul full of papers and nothing to do with it. Unfortunately, this is all a bluff because Hong can afford to rent a U-Haul, but if by some miracle he is able to borrow the money, I will have someone video the entire attempt. Please, Hong, come through for once. So that nonsense is what, you know. Oh, here's the one. This is the one, and I'm stopping what we're doing right now. This is the one I could not believe he said because it's so illegal. I just registered the domain, josephlesniak.com, where I plan to showcase some of lawyer Joseph Lesniak's greatest work. I think it's important for potential clients to understand exactly what they'd be paying for. New hobby unlocked. I'm considering adding a contest page where I publish legal filings, and visitors can win prizes by guessing whether the filing was written by Lesniak or a sixth grader. And he showed josephlesniak.com is yours. I'm going to make sure I've got that screenshotted again, because I thought I had it before. That, my friends, is quite illegal. Quite illegal. Okay. So his stuff's back up, but let's keep reading. Is everyone okay? Yeah, can you imagine? Let me just show you what I had found before. I'll just Google it let's take a break from this for 1 second. And I'll show you something I found. Take a minute. Chat. Mods, would you man the chat just for a second? Okay. So it is unlawful to, I'll go ahead and read it to you. It is unlawful, and I have another one too. It's unlawful to register a domain name that consists of or is similar to the name of another living person without their consent. And I had something else pulled up too for you all to share it with you. Let me just go back here. I had something else pulled up as far as that goes to share with you. But so it is illegal to do that and to take a domain in another person's name to humiliate, defame, and then libel comes in because it's in writing. So, yepers. That came out on the 22nd, I believe. Let me see when that came out. March 22nd. He said he registered the domain. And when did his site go down? The next day? Perhaps? I don't know. But that's his new hobby. He's going to put legal filings and, but that's illegal. So that's just another illegal act to be, it's out there. Oh, thank you, Town Chat Cafe. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Town Chat, did you send me what you were going to send me? Sorry, I got a little distracted. Hi, Babs22. Yeah, isn't that horrible? Creating a domain in someone else's name. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming in. We are on page 38. We are on page 38. And we are going to keep going. If you are all okay, I'm going to keep reading. And thank you all for being here. I truly appreciate you. And please welcome, Valerie, thank you for your support. Wheezy Girl, thank you for your support. You've been members 1 and 3 months, and I totally appreciate that. We had great members live yesterday. We'll have another one. We have them on Saturdays. Yeah, I can't. Karen Powers, some of the things he says on there, I just don't understand how you would expect not to have a license revoked. I don't know, or whatever's going to happen if something happens. So let's keep going. So he's back on X. Didn't stay away too long. Now let's see if he sticks himself back into Sebastian's case. Okay. Between October 21st and 23rd, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher, using the handle Fisher, posted on X, formerly Twitter, about the investigation and plaintiff Seth Rogers. Poor Seth, he said so much. On October 21st, he alleged insider knowledge, stating that Sebastian returned from Seth's with bruises and spoke about being hit. Now, I want you all to remember, they didn't know Seth knew, Seth didn't know about the CPS stuff in the beginning. Remember that. In the beginning, he never knew. He found out after Sebastian went missing. So I wonder if statements like that are meant to explain certain things away and blame someone else. A quote, yes, that is true. Sebastian came home from Seth. This is quoting SF. Sebastian came home from Seth with bruises from being hit, and he talked about it. I do have insider knowledge. What else are you looking for? End of quote. Someone who's honest. On October 23rd, in my opinion, on October 23rd, 2024, Fisher posted on social media about plaintiff's Bullhorn Betty, Dog Chapman, Seth Rogers. Defendant Stephen Fisher questioned the credibility of the plaintiffs and criticized plaintiff Seth Rogers for allowing certain actions in his son's name. And that is what this is doing. This whole hearing and this whole RICO is to stop these kind of actions occurring in his son's name. He also portrayed himself as a principled investigator. See Exhibit 73. B, what I find more wild is that there are currently some people that believe them. TBI and Sumner County Sheriff are well aware of their antics. The fact Seth will allow this to be done in his son's name is mind-boggling. End a quote from SF. Another quote from SF. Quote, thank God that investigators like me work from evidence and not lack of intelligence. End of quote. Exhibit 73. 111. On October 30th, 24, defendant Stephen Fisher and defendant-aligned UA Crimson Tide discussed the at-night lawsuit on social media. Defendant Fisher speculated that the lawsuit had stalled because the attorneys realized their motion and complaint were dead on arrival. I remember that. Defendant-aligned UA Crimson Tide questioned defendant Stephen Fisher about a confidentiality agreement and voluntary searcher document. See Exhibit 74. D, quote, the at-night lawsuit has been notably quiet lately. This could be because attorneys Joseph Lesniak and Bruce Castor have realized their motion for a preliminary injunction along with the complaint is effectively dead on arrival, end of quote. And then E, quote, so just to be clear, you're standing by the document that you signed as a voluntary searcher and the confidentiality agreement. That's legitimate? Is that what you're saying? End of quote. On November 1st, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher posted on social media about Bullhorn Betty's GoFundMe campaign. Defendant Stephen Fisher accused plaintiff Bullhorn Betty of hypocrisy for seeking donations for her legal defense while allegedly violating GoFundMe terms of service. He claimed to have emailed GoFundMe to request the campaign's removal. Quote, Bullhorn Betty is a hypocrite who attempts to prevent others from raising funds to defend themselves against meritless lawsuits, yet she violates GoFundMe's terms of service by seeking donations for her own criminal defense. This should not be allowed. Sent to GoFundMe this morning, end of quote. Another quote, I am formally writing to request the removal of the GoFundMe campaign created by Sonia Elliott to fund the criminal defense of Bullhorn Betty, who is charged with 6 violations of orders of protection. 113. On November 5th, 2024, a death threat was sent to At Night's national tip line from a burner phone. The message referenced a $100,000 hit ordered on plaintiff Dwayne Dog Chapman and others, calling them the quote, fakest MFers on the planet, end of quote. Think about that now. We've had a lot of quotes we've been listening to, and we've heard some people using MFers and stuff. So think about who talks like that. End of quote. Sorry, I need to take a sip. Good old Coke Zero. 8. There's a quote, there's a $100,000 hit order on Dog and his crew. They're the fakest MFs on the planet, end of quote. And that was November 5th. On November 1st, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher posted on social media falsely implying that Bullhorn Betty's legal team is misleading the public into believing they have law enforcement powers. He also mentioned writing a legal letter to GoFundMe about her fundraising efforts. On November 10th, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher ridiculed a user for supporting Bullhorn Betty, calling them dumb and a typical BHB supporter. A, quote, BHB's legal team is misleading the public into believing they have law enforcement powers. I am writing a legal letter to GoFundMe regarding plaintiff Bullhorn Betty's fundraising efforts. B, quote, "You are dumb, a typical BHP supporter," end of quote. So professional. On November 15th, 2024, Stephen Fisher posted on social media about Sebastian Rogers' 16th birthday, noting that he remains missing. The post included surveillance footage dated February 25th, 2024, and referenced At Night and plaintiff dog Dwayne Chapman, implying criticism of their actions. 116. In these statements, defendant Fisher asserted that the court had not accepted the plaintiff's case and criticized their decision to file a motion to amend the complaint, describing it as a foolish move, in quotes, foolish move. Exhibit 79. On November 10th, 2024, user @FemGeek responded to defendant SF by referencing what was described as marching band rhetoric. In a sarcastic tone, FemGeek offered to join this so-called band. DOE Crimson Tide replied to @FemGeek, extending a welcome into the group. These exchanges appear to continue a pattern of pointed commentary and coded language linked to events involving the plaintiffs, seemingly aimed at intimidating those involved in the case, including plaintiffs and potential witnesses. See Exhibit 80. A, "I'll join the marching band. I'll play clarinet, flute, and saxophone, etc." End of quote. And then quote again, "On his behalf, I welcome you into the band." End of quote. Number 118. On December 7th, 2024, a hostile and threatening message was sent to At Night's national tip line, insulting the recipients and dismissed their investigation into Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. Also insulting plaintiff Dwayne Dog Chapman. See Exhibit 81. And here's what they said on the tip line. Quote, "You all are lying about the Sebastian Rogers case. F you and Dog the Bounty Hunter. You're just doing this for attention on social media." Well, you know that date. What date is that? Does anyone know? What date is December 7th? It's do you all know what it is? Let me come over and look. It's the attack on Pearl Harbor, which is also Sebastian's birthday. So on Sebastian's birthday, when law enforcement came out and said they were working with the father, Seth came out and said they were working with the father. The news came out and said Seth and the father were working together. Suddenly, that invoked hostile and threatening messages to At Night and Dog on Sebastian's birthday, when other people were joining in to not other people, they were all getting together and working through things and working together. And that infuriated people enough to send hate. Think about it. On Sebastian's birthday, because that's what happened on the birthday. Craddock came out and said they were working with the father. They had evidence. Seth came out, said they were working with him. Seth's been talking to him every couple of days ever since. So they didn't like that. So what they did on Sebastian's birthday is called into At Night and said that you are all lying about the Sebastian Rogers case. See, it was all good and great when law enforcement wasn't communicating with Seth. But once law enforcement starts communicating with Seth, in my opinion, people started to get a little concerned that their footing was going downhill. F you and the Dog the Bounty Hunter, you're just doing this for attention on social media. And another quote, again, F you. I know the whole marching band is so stupid. It's all stupid. It's all a waste of time. Oh no. Mini Panthers just said, Teach just saw this. Per New Shackle Island Fire Department, our board chairman, Bobby Worsham, passed away yesterday. Buzz watching. Thank you for sharing that, Mini Panthers. Thank you for sharing that. And that would be Worsham's store? Is that Worsham's store, Mini Panthers? Oh, that's very sad. Rest in peace. Very, very sad. And is that from Worsham's General Stores? I'm wondering. Hi, Yaya 81, missing in Tennessee. Hello. Hello, everyone who's coming in. Let me just rest my voice for a second by watching your. Good thing I don't have to teach tomorrow, right? Watching your amazing comments come in. People are dropping like flies in Tennessee. Well, you know the old saying, if you want a child to go missing, move to Tennessee. So, seriously, crazy. Worsham's is now called Beach Market. That's right. That's right. I saw that on the Google Maps. They have them both there. Worsham's General Store and Beach Market. Thank you, Sassy. Yes. Well, that's sad. So that must, I'm assuming, is like the patriarch of the family. Mini Panthers is not sure if that's the owner of Worsham's, but heard that Worsham's passed away yesterday. So we'll look, we can find that out from our local sources. Well, Mini, well, you are local, right, Mini? But I can find that out from my other sources. I don't think they sold. Did they sell Worsham? I don't think so. I hadn't heard that. Oh, Dawson, welcome. Thank you so much. Dawson said, I don't say much, but listen to you a lot. Love your channel. Dawson, thank you so much for letting me know. Welcome in, and anytime you're in the bushes, let us know and we'll give you a wave. Thank you so much. I don't know if they sold it. We'll have to do some poking now, everyone. Let's do some inquiring. But you do know that they didn't get the footage from Worsham's because it was already recorded over by the time law enforcement went. And I do have that from a very verified source. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue. Okay. 119. On November 17th, 24, Defendant Aligned DOE, Crimson Tide, posted on Twitter X a threat against plaintiff Dwayne the Dog Chapman, warning him not to enter Tennessee or risk physical harm. Purportedly part of an ongoing pattern of threats and intimidation discouraging his investigative effort related to Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. I did not hear that one. Wow. And here's the quote. You better not take your own advice and think you can kick in any doors in Tennessee. Good way to get really hurt. End of quote. Wow. 120. Between November 20th, 2024 and November 22nd, 2024, various users, including Defendant Aligned DOE, Crimson Tide, and SF, engaged in Twitter discussions involving personal attacks and dismissive comments targeting individuals tied to the legal case. See Exhibit 83. Well, clearly you can't, quote, well, clearly you can't read, so try again, end of quote. No, letter B, quote, by the way, I wonder if his parole officer gave him permission to travel. End of quote. C, quote, you can't even come here, bro, end of quote. D, quote, how was Tennessee? Would you be willing to come on my show and talk about searching for Sebastian in Tennessee? End of quote. Quote, you know what I think is funny? You're so oblivious to how unimportant you are. End of quote. And we had the honor of having Dog, the bounty hunter, on in our show, in our chat yesterday. That was wonderful. And Seth Rogers was in here yesterday and today, and Tony Mathis. So really excited, but we do get Seth and Tony in here quite a bit, which is always a pleasure. But Dog was just a real surprise. Glad he came in, and he knows our channel, Crime Time Buzz, and he was listening and even left us a comment. On November 23rd, 2024, Defendant Fisher posted on X about legal counsel and plaintiff's filings and accused an opposing party of stalking and demanding updates on his medical condition. See Exhibit 84. Well, and now we find out what was portrayed. It's not a medical emergency. Remember when Craddock and Widener came out those first days, they were searching. They were worried how he might, they didn't know what would happen, but they were told it would be serious without his medication. Not the case, apparently. So, a quote, not sure just how long this world-class attorney needs to take down such an amateur, or will he quit like Bruce Castor did? Question mark. End of quote. B, and these are from, I'm sorry, this is from Fisher about the counsel and the plaintiff's filings. He's saying, not just sure how this world-class attorney needs to take down such an amateur, or will he quit like Bruce Castor did? End of quote. B, correct. They filed such a defective pleading that a judge hasn't even been assigned. It's just a dormant, defective filing. End of quote. 122. On November 29th, 2024, DOE JLR posted, there's another one. Let's write it down. JLR posted on Twitter accusing plaintiff Seth Rogers of monetizing his YouTube channel devoted to his missing son. DOE JLR highlighted the membership tiers and their costs, and the post was amplified by defendant-aligned DOE J is for Justice podcast. See Exhibit 85. And, I don't understand how everyone else monetized can make, money, but they don't want the father to. I still don't understand that. I don't understand why they would begrudge the father to have a channel when he rightfully should have a channel for his son. C, quote, Seth Rogers, father of missing 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, has monetized his YouTube channel that's devoted to his missing son's case. End of quote. That's right. It is devoted to his missing son's case. D, quote, he's launched 3 membership tiers, and the highest tier costs $24.99 a month. End of quote. Between November 23rd, 2024 and November 30th, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher posted on social media in response to plaintiffs and other parties. The post included dismissing the credibility of opposing sources, posting alleged receipts, in quotes, and asserting investigative superiority. Wow. See Exhibit 86. Here's some quotes from it. E, quote, this just proves how wrong you and your sources are. This is another source of embarrassment for you and highlights why absolutely nobody will ever listen to what you have to say because you are always wrong. End of quote. That's from SF. SF, quote, my work speaks for itself. That's why I can charge the rates I do. I have found 5 times more missing persons than any other investigator or agency. End of quote. Remember, he said he made $700 an hour. And then when that was asked on a channel or asked him, he kind of backtracked on that. Well, people like to, exaggerate. No, he said it several times that he was the most expensive PI out there and that he got $700 an hour and sometimes more. On December 2nd, 2024, SF posted on X, formerly Twitter, in response to allegations of forged legal documents, claiming it was a simple mistake and minimizing the significance of the issue. Quote, you made a simple mistake saying that I forged legal documents, a simple mistake claiming I was going to lose my license. End of quote. Another quote, that was funny. He thought he had a scoop. End of quote. And I think we can agree here that this behavior from a private eye, regardless of whom he is not needed in a missing child case. It's sarcastic, it's rude, it's manipulating, and it's threatening. And what it does is it ceases progress. I hope anyone with a missing child keeps him allegedly, in my opinion, out of the case because this behavior, this isn't helpful. No one takes him seriously, in my opinion. On December 6th, one day before all the hateful stuff was called into at night about Dog and everyone, and one day before Sebastian's birthday. Defendants SF posted on X about the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, implying ongoing independent investigation efforts. He criticized At Night Media and plaintiff Dwayne Dog Chapman, suggesting their focus on the case was misaligned. The post included surveillance footage and a timeline of events related to Sebastian Rogers' last known whereabouts. See Exhibit 88. See, they got it all saved, friends. Quote, tomorrow marks Sebastian Rogers' 16th birthday, and heartbreakingly, he remains missing. Very true. While we are diligently investigating his case, we do not yet have answers regarding his disappearance. End of quote. Exhibit 88, page 1. Quote, within 22 seconds, Katie and Sebastian approach their vehicle, enter the car, put on their seatbelts. The man in the green hoodie enters Texas Roadhouse. That's not true. And Katie and Sebastian exit their parking spot. This is what At Night has told you is so significant. It's a little longer than 22 seconds, my friends. Exit 88 on December 6, 2024. And I don't care if it was 5 seconds, if it was significant to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. I don't care if it was 2 seconds, if it was significant to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. And you know what this kind of talk does, everyone? This tries to shame and embarrass people from bringing in reliable tips. Okay? This tries to shame and embarrass people because they think this guy will tear them up on X or someone else. So it's another technique to make people afraid to get involved. Okay, on December 6, 24, Nik the Hat posted on X, formerly Twitter, about Sebastian Rogers' disappearance, emphasizing the tragedy of his absence on his 16th birthday. Defendant aligned DOE, Crimson Tide, responded with antagonistic behavior, referencing a YouTube block and making a sarcastic comment about a restaurant meal. Wow. Quote, why have you blocked me on YouTube? I'd love to see your wisdom in the comments section. End of quote. Quote, I recommend the Chili's 3 for Me platter and a roomy back seat to cry in. End of quote. Exhibit 89. Wow. Just imagine the judge reading all this. Okay? Between December 7th, 24 and December 8th, 24. And you know the judge knows whose dog is. Everyone does. And so he's probably reading this, wondering what in the heck is going on, these people who are acting like this. Between December 7th and 8th of 24, Fisher posted on X, formerly Twitter, about his independent investigation into the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, mentioning this discovery of natural cave shafts. Remember that, guys? During the search efforts. I think that's around the time they were searching across the street from his house in the woods a year later. He also posted a direct personal attack on plaintiff Dwayne Dog Chapman, calling him a low-life, washed-up coward, end of quote, and accusing him of editing surveillance footage to mislead the public. See Exhibit 90. G. Dog, you low-life, washed-up coward, editing surveillance footage. Don't blame this family that you have a failed career and try to use a 15-year-old boy as a publicity tool. Editing surveillance and playing it in slow motion is an act of desperation. You are a has-been. End of quote, Exhibit 90, page 2. 128. Between December 11th and 13th of 2024, defendant SF continued his public attacks on Dog via posts on X, formerly Twitter, and further taunted plaintiff Chapman by offering to pay for a mental health evaluation. Ooh. See Exhibit 92. Quote, you would know about felonies for murder charges since you have been convicted of that exact crime. Dog, if I paid for it, would you be willing to have a mental health professional evaluate you? I'm very serious. This is sad to see happen for the world to witness in real time. End of quote. Wow. Quote, wow. All I have to say is wow. Just wow on that. I hope he loses his license. And I'm not saying that in my opinion. I'm saying I hope he loses his license. Quote, we continue our search for Sebastian Rogers today. While we have gathered a substantial amount of new information, none of it has yet led us to Sebastian. We are not making any false claims about being on the verge of finding him. We are not spinning false narratives. End of quote. 129. On December 14th, JLR posted on X, formerly Twitter, questioning allegations of CPS reports related to plaintiff Tony Mathis, accusing him of misconduct, including inappropriate behavior toward TikTok users and prior termination from employment. DOE JLR posted, quote, where is proof of these alleged 5 CPS reports? Besides TikTok Tony Mathis claiming it? He further stated, quote, same Tony that's been previously called out by Ellie for putting out garbage, same Tony that exposes himself to TikTok girls, same Tony that got fired by the father of Caleb Harris, end of quote. Terrible. Friends, that's a lot of defamation going on in this that we're reading about. Alleged defamation. We shouldn't even have this going on. We should all be looking for Sebastian. The fact that we're spending time in courts and it's not about the SOB that took Sebastian, hurt Sebastian, whatever happened to Sebastian is infuriating. It's like a clown show with these people. Ridiculous. Making allegations against plaintiff Seth Rogers, implying he is a threat to children and women. On December 14, 24, JLR posted on X making allegations against plaintiff Seth Rogers, implying he is a threat to children and women. You all, if you have these people on your subscribe list, I hope you're not giving them view time. I hope you're unsubscribing, because if you care about Sebastian, you're learning what they're doing to Sebastian. So go unsubscribe, please. That would be you do whatever you want, but that would be my advice. They are doing this to Sebastian. All these individuals that we are listening to are doing this to Sebastian because they are obstructing him being found. JLR posted on X, making allegations of Seth Rogers, implying he's a threat to children and women. DOE JLR stated, quote, Seth Rogers is a bad news. No child is safe around him. No female is safe around him, end of quote. Wow. See Exhibit 94. 131. On the same day, DOE JLR further posted, quote, so are they thinking that BioDad had something to do with his disappearance? All 3 of them have always been shady to me from day one, end of quote. 132. On December 14, 2024, DOE Jonathan Lee Ritchie's JLR posted on X mocking a journalist for sharing a $250,000 reward flyer related to Sebastian Rogers' disappearance, claiming it was created by someone, quote, on parole for spreading misinformation. So there's one of the individuals mocking the reward. Why would someone do that? Why would someone mock a reward that has commissioners that put it out? It's out there, the FBI, everyone's got this out there. Why would someone be mocking it? It hurts the child's case. Sorry. Claiming it was created by someone on parole for spreading misinformation and stating that law enforcement has not acknowledged the reward. Again, they're still doing this. 133, December 14th, 24, JLR posted on X criticizing Dog for calling out the sheriff involved in the Sebastian Rogers case, referencing a controversial statement attributed to Sheriff Eric Craddock about preferring the term snuggle struggle over RAPE. And yes, that's very concerning because people, what that does is that tells criminals, your sheriff minimizes crime here with this statement, okay? He's minimizing the crime for the victims. For the offenders, he's minimizing the crime, but look what it does to the victims. Here's a quote. Hi, Jennifer. How is this helping? They are now bashing the sheriff on this case. You support this? End of quote. Another quote, hashtag Sebastian Rogers. Unless you're a Tennessean, you may not understand who Sheriff Snuggle Struggle is, but here is a direct quote from his campaign. R is such a strong word. I prefer Snuggle Struggle. Ugh, gross. That it's just so shocking, and it's such a slap in the face to anyone who has been R'd, right? On December 14th, 24, and it gives a pat on the back to those who have R'd people, that they just had a tough day. On December 14th, 24, SF posted on X, formerly Twitter, attacking dog at night, Seth and TBI and Sumner County Sheriff let me repeat that. I'm sorry. SF posted on X, formerly Twitter, attacking dog at night, Seth, claiming that TBI and Sumner County dismissed their efforts as illegitimate. See Exhibit 98. On December 15th, 24, JLR posted on X, formerly Twitter, accusing plaintiff Seth Rogers and his team of harassing the Sumner County Sheriff, claiming this followed the sheriff calling out their disinformation. Exhibit 99. Number 136, between December 14th and 15th of 24, SF posted on X, formerly Twitter, implicating plaintiff Seth Rogers in Child Protective Services reports, engaging in a dispute over investigative details about a vehicle's identity. Yes. And dismissing criticisms from plaintiff Bullhorn Betty by calling her a grifter. See Exhibit 100. Yes, he says awful things about others. Quote, you know the majority of the CPS reports involve Seth, right? End of quote. Well, that will be easy to disprove, won't it, friends? Another quote, several people have been tweeting at me like the one below, apparently because BHB decided to pull one of her typical capitalize on a tragedy grifts. Seems they're trying to spin this into a gotcha moment. It's not. End of quote. 137, between December 15th and 16th, SF posted on Twitter about a public challenge involving a $1 million charity donation tied to an undisclosed video. And he accused Bullhorn Betty of misappropriating $50,000 from a charity and assured the public that information is being used to find Sebastian Rogers. So let's read that quote. I'll donate $1 million within 24 hours to charity if they can produce that video. BHB already screwed a charity out of $50,000 on another lie. Can she make up for it now? Challenge her. End of quote. Quote, information that is useful to find Sebastian is being used to find Sebastian. I can promise you that. End of quote. Number 138, between December 16th and 17th, defendant SF posted on Twitter regarding jurisdictional disputes in Hendersonville and allegations of misinformation about a 3 a.m. vehicle sighting, accusing Bullhorn Betty and Brittany J. of spreading false claims as part of a grift. See Exhibit 102. He just wants to detract from that 3 a.m. car. But what I will tell you is that 3 a.m. car was cited, was discussed, was seen on footage, not just by one person, by numerous, and it pulled up in the neighborhood and is a dark four-door sedan. Okay? And they are also aware that Sebastian didn't walk out on his own. So, this is deflection. Okay. 139, between December 17th and 18th, DOE JLR posted on Twitter X criticizing Seth and his team for allegedly undermining search efforts for Sebastian Rogers and questioning law enforcement's credibility. That's actually funny when Seth and his team have been searching the whole time. And questioning law enforcement's credibility regarding the cooperation of Natalie Samantha Rutnow's parents. The posts were reposted by DOE J is for Justice podcast. See Exhibit 103. Here's the quote. Seth Rogers and his team back on YouTube trashing the P-Foots and their search for Sebastian Rogers. This does not make sense at all. If Seth wants Sebastian found, why wouldn't he welcome any search efforts? End of quote. Exactly. Why wouldn't we allow people on our private property? Why wouldn't we allow all of our homes that we own, rent, sell, switch, gift to be searched with dogs? Why wouldn't we allow people to be walking around the neighborhood without running them around saying, get out of here? I would love that question answered. On December 17th and 18th of 24, SF posted on Twitter claiming that the city of Hendersonville, Tennessee was not responsible for law enforcement efforts in the case of Sebastian Waindrake Rogers, despite the Hendersonville Police Department's active involvement. Okay. That's an interesting, I did not realize he had tweeted that. That's interesting. The reason that's really interesting is because SF knew and knows that the person that lives behind P-Foots is a Hendersonville PD and part-time. He also knows he's the one with the sophisticated cameras, 7 at least that I know of, and audio and night vision. He is also the individual who left the visual in tears saying it's bad, it's so, so bad. He's also the individual that was riding around with dispatch when dispatch said the house with the white truck, yeah, he's a police officer and I have him with me. So I find it really interesting that he's mentioning their active involvement, highlighting that. They are not responsible for Sebastian's case at all, is what he's saying. Okay. He's saying, however, look how active they are. Isn't that a great question? Don't you want to know why he's riding around like that off duty? Why he's in the command center? He lives behind him, allegedly. You know, lots of things to wonder about that Hendersonville. Hendersonville PD is also the ones who received the police report from Sutherland, Oregon, from the individual who believes they spotted CP and KP in Oregon at Ford's Pond. By the way, she reached out to me. So, yes, she does believe still that that's who she saw. Between December, so he's saying that city of Hendersonville is not responsible for law enforcement efforts in the case of Sebastian Waindrake Rogers, despite Hendersonville Police Department's active involvement. I find that just such an interesting statement. The active involvement part is what I'm finding interesting there. Between December 12th and 20th of 24, defendant SF and DOE Crimson Tide posted on Twitter X about search efforts for Sebastian, including drone mapping, and included unrelated commentary comparing himself to the Zodiac Killer. See Exhibit 105. 142. Between December 19th and 20th, defendant SF posted on Twitter X about drone footage analysis, surveillance camera technicalities, and accused the mob crew of being financially compromised by At Night and Chapman. See Exhibit 106. Quote, mob crew is super desperate. Imagine being so corrupt you could be paid off by At Night and a bounty hunter. Sad. You must look back at your life and wonder what went wrong. If you know this video so well, then you would know the timestamp is stuck at 3/11/04 on 2/23/24. So how? Jammers? 143. Wi-Fi jammers? On December 20th, 2024 and 21st, 2024, SF posted on Twitter X about contacting attorney Bruce Castor Jr., referencing alleged RICO charges and legal actions with defendant-aligned Queen Bee 0888, reposting one of these tweets. Hold on, friends, I need to take a sip. I'll check on you. Come over there and check on you. Everyone okay? Lady Roses, I agree. I can only, oh, Gypsy, good night. Thank you so much for modding and being here, hon. I agree. Lady Rosa says, I would be totally embarrassed to have my own words read back to me and can just imagine what the judge is going to say when he has to read this back to each of them. And that's what I keep saying. How many times has this, been presented and dealing with in the courts instead of us dealing with the person who did this to Sebastian? So I really hope the judge has had an absolute enough of it. I really do. I really do. Because it's absolutely disgusting in the name of a child. Absolutely disgusting. Yes, Dawson, absolutely. It's just sad. Some of this stuff I didn't even know occurred, because I don't go in and follow all that drama. So some of this I didn't even know occurred. But I mean, just absolute horrid, horrid, horrid behavior to people looking for a child. If you're not going to get on board looking for a kid, get his hashtag off your channel, get his hashtag off your tip jar, and get the case out of your mouth and go look for another missing kid. I mean, I don't understand. Isn't it that simple? Oh, I guess for some of us it is. Okay, right? On December 22nd, 24, defendant SF and plaintiff Nik the Hat engaged in a Twitter exchange where Nik the Hat claimed to expose Fisher's alleged blackmail and manipulation via private messages. While DOE Queen Bee reposted defendant Fisher's response. Quote, enough is enough. I'm releasing the full DM conversation with Fisher, a decision that weighs heavily. Fisher's relentless threats, direct and indirect blackmail, and manipulation have left me with no other option. As a private investigator licensed across ... Exhibit 108. And we'll go to all the exhibits. It won't be tonight, I can promise you. But thanks for hanging in there. Let me see how many pages we are on till we get to the exhibits. Oh, we still have a lot more, friends. Went back too far. Sorry. I went back too far. Wait. Okay, sorry about that. It could be very easily said there are 6 reports against Seth, end of quote. On December 23rd, DOE, defendant aligned DOE Queen Bee posted on Twitter X acknowledging a lawsuit, reacting to her name in court filings, accusing plaintiffs of deception, and expressing hostility toward the proceedings. See Exhibit 110. Number 147, on December 23rd, 2024, defendant aligned DOE Queen Bee 0888 engaged in a Twitter exchange with Joe Kelly, attacking plaintiffs and their supporters while misrepresenting the case. See Exhibit 111. Here's her quote. Girl, you have not paid any attention to the FNS that's been pulled by Nik and his team. LMAO, stop the BS. SF is sick of their SHIT and so are we. Who trolls a missing child's case? That's what we'd like to know. The ones you're defending do shake my head. Well, let's not comment. Let's just move on. On December 24th, 24, JLR reposted by DOEJ for Justice podcast, posted on Twitter X, falsely accusing plaintiff Seth Rogers of fleeing Tennessee after being sued. Yes. I knew that wasn't true. Many of you knew that wasn't true. And I didn't even address it, I don't think. I might have. Did Seth Rogers flee Tennessee? People are claiming he left the state right after being sued for misusing funds and other stuff. This is JLR, right? Oh, no, reposted by Jays for Justice. JLR reposted by DOA Jays for Justice podcast, and they posted it on Twitter. Okay. Did Seth Rogers flee Tennessee? People are claiming he left the state right after being sued for misusing funds and other stuff. I remember when KP got crucified by many for leaving her house after Sebastian Rogers went missing. Seth Rogers recently went on YouTube, ... Now that's shocking. KP got crucified for leaving her house within the week almost of her son going missing, who she claimed ran away. So if he ran away, he would return to that home and has vacationed like a rock star, allegedly, all over. Boy, some of these comments are unbelievable. December 24th, 24, JLR posted on Twitter X claiming CP offered to work with plaintiff Seth Rogers to find Sebastian, and plaintiff Seth Rogers declined, and that plaintiff Seth Rogers left the state while Chris and volunteers searched. No, if you recall, At Night Intelligence said they will not at all align themselves with someone who is, go back and read it, how they worded it. I don't want to say. They said they would not work with the P-Foots. Because what happened is after Sebastian's, I'm going to lay it down to you right now how that went down. After Sebastian's birthday, law enforcement was speaking with Seth. You can fill in your own blanks as to whether or not you believe they were speaking to CP and KP. But when someone invokes the fifth, usually I would assume not, allegedly in my opinion. And also when you have to put on, when your PI has to put on SF a video of someone walking at 12, 11, or 13 in the night and talking to us, or talking to law enforcement saying, tell us, have you identified this person? Have you confirmed this? That tells you they're not talking to law enforcement. They're using social media to talk to them. Okay. So he says CP offer, and At Night came out right after that. Okay. So they were all talking, and someone had asked, Elevated Truth asked CP if, and this was after the birthday, after Sumner County started talking to Seth every day and all of that. And what does that make us realize? Probably who isn't, when we saw some of the tweets going on by SF. And then Elevated Truth asked CP if he would now, or he and KP would work with Seth. Well, of course they wanted to, because look at how things were looking, right? They wanted them from the very beginning to be looking right. But then At Night came out and said, I'm sorry, they are the subjects of a criminal investigation and we will not work with them. Okay. So Seth did not decline. At Night and Dog and that team At Night would not involve people who were the center of a criminal investigation. So after that December birthday, when that was brought up, that was squelched immediately by At Night, that would not be happening. So the quote, Chris Proudfoot extended an olive branch the other day to Seth Rogers. Yes. Offering to work together in finding Sebastian Rogers. Seth Rogers declined. Chris Proudfoot and volunteers spent the last week searching in the woods around their home. Mind you, a year later. I'm not sure what took KP, CP, those volunteers a year to cross the street and look through the woods around the home. But it did. Seth Rogers left the state. End of quote. Not true. On December 26, 24, JLR posted on Twitter that Seth Rogers' employment status, stating his supporters claimed he had returned to work as a correctional officer. Exhibit 114. You all do know Seth's job title, right? That is not it. On December 27, 24, JLR Investigates and J is for Justice podcast posted on Twitter about Robin Rogers, plaintiff Seth Rogers' mother, discussing her claims about polygraph tests taken by KP and CP and her subsequent withdrawal from public support. 152, see Exhibit 115. 152, on December 27, 24, DOE spilled _T department and crazy Twitter lady Hopi posted on Twitter X disputing claims by plaintiff K9 handler CPT amid her time in search efforts for Sebastian Rogers. Oh, I'm sorry. That's probably her military title after that. Amid her time in search efforts for Sebastian Rogers. Yes, they really went after her, citing contradictory statements from the TBI. Quote, why is it so hard to trust volunteers in this case? End of quote. And if you go on Canine Handler's channel, she has an explanation of a lot of that. She tells you who has cleared her to be there, who verified her credentials, everything. I wonder if everyone else involved in criticizing her could do the same. 153, December 28th, 24, an email from Jim Fair, in quotes, to a patrol officer falsely accused Nik the Hat and Tony of fraudulent business practices and identity theft, citing fabricated police reports in Oklahoma, Tennessee, and included a Reddit link to a defamatory post. See Exhibit 117. Quote, Nik the Hat is working with Tony Mathis. They are involved with fraudulent business practices and forgery together. Police reports have been filed against Mathis and Nik in Oklahoma and Tennessee. Exhibit 117. Quote, FBI is investigating Tony through Craneworks and his involvement in obstructing a criminal investigation. Exhibit 117, page 1. 154. On December 29, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher and DOE aligned defendant Crimson Tide. One second, I'm just taking a picture of something. I wanted to get one of those quotes out real quick. On December 29, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher and DOE defendant aligned DOE Crimson Tide made false statements on Twitter X about at-night intelligence investigative efforts and engaged in personal attacks, even going as far as activating a purported marching band. Quote, that's just in time for court and the marching band performance, end of quote. Exhibit 118. On December 29, 24, Barbecue Lady posted on Twitter X mocking and dismissing legal proceedings and the investigation into Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. See Exhibit 119. Number 156, on December 30th, 2024. And I spent it with you guys. Remember, we did Christmas Eve together. I went and did my family stuff, spent Christmas Eve with you all, Christmas Eve night, Christmas Eve morning, or Christmas morning, Christmas night, and then we did, that was fun. That was nice to spend that time together. On December 30th, no, maybe I didn't do New Year's with you because I was traveling, remember? But the day before we did it. On December 30th, 2024, SF falsely posted on Twitter X that attorney Bruce Castor Jr. had zero involvement in the instant matter. 157. On December 31st, 2024, defendant Stephen Fisher posted on X announcing his intent to attend a court hearing regarding plaintiff Bullhorn Betty's alleged restraining order violations and made statements about her legal matters. Quote, I am looking forward to attending court on January 8th in Sumner County regarding Bullhorn Betty's restraining order violations, end of quote. Exhibit 121. 158 on January 2nd, defendant aligned DOE Queen B 088 reposted defendant Steve Fisher's statement about the Sebastian Rogers Amber Alert on Twitter X and promoted defamatory content targeting Nik the Hat. See Exhibit 122. Guys, I think I'm about done for tonight. I'm going to read this last page. 159, between December 14th and January 2020, December 14th, 2024 and January 9th, 25, plaintiff Canine Handler engaged in a Twitter discussion with DOE Ethan. Did we write Ethan down? We did. Regarding canine tracking methods. Plaintiff Canine explained distinctions between tracking and trailing canines. Yes, she did. And I watched that video and it's excellent and explains about Max jumping in. Well, DOE Ethan responded with a skeptical and mocking remarks. See Exhibit 139. Quote, and I've shared this with you all. Max was not provided with a scent article for Sebastian. The later canines were. Canine Max is tracking canine. So remember, I shared with all of you that he tracks the most recent ground disturbances. Trailing canines are scent specific and require an article specific to an individual. Max is not. Tracking canines are footstep trackers. Tell me you never, and then another quote, tell me you never certified a tracking dog without telling me you never certified a tracking dog, end a quote. They really gave her a hard time to go over and subscribe. And Julie is in our chat right now, or was in our chat earlier. So welcome in, Julie. I'm glad you're here. Friends, I think I'm going to stop there if you're okay with that. I know we're only on 56, but we can go back and do it again. I know I'm tired too. So we all had a busy weekend. I do not know how to say Nik's last name. Let me look at it. Actually, no, I don't know how to say it. We all had a busy weekend, and I appreciate you all being here for this. And we will continue. We're leaving off, just so you know, we're leaving off. We will pick it back up. I will definitely pick it back up for part 3 and part 4, whatever we need, okay? But Ginger Girls, you're not the first one to say that. And we had, when Tony was in, I remember hearing that PFs refused to sign the document for the U.S. Marshal's assistance. We asked Tony that when he was in here, but I think he was already gone. So I am going to inquire about that. Why would anyone refuse to sign the U.S. Marshals who find so many children? Boy, that, like I said earlier, that's not just a red flag. If that's true, that's red sirens. That's everything. Then sign for the U.S. Marshals assist. That's interesting. I'm good. That you are not the first person to say that today. We did ask Tony, so I will follow up with that. Yes, we will find out if Seth can ask them in. That's great. Great job, Whispering Winds. Thank you. Yeah, he doesn't want anyone on his property or family property, private property, or private. I guess it's a tweeter or someone on X, Susan. It's someone on X, Susan Kemp, who's been involving himself in this. So my friends, I appreciate you being here. You don't sleep much at night, YouTuber. Oh, Sassy doesn't sleep much at night. You know, I don't either, honestly. That tells me we need to search on private property, correct? And Sassy, you know, there's a lot of properties out there that have been gifted, sold, you name it. I will be back on tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m., and we will continue on, my friend. Yeah, there's properties that have been bought, gifted, sold. Then after I looked up the sold, it said another person's name, but yet CB was listed as her residence. So there's a lot of funny stuff, in my opinion, about properties. So how many there are, I wouldn't even begin to know. I will be back tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern time. We will continue. We'll start with any updates on the case, and then we'll jump into this. So hit that subscribe and notification bell, and we'll also be covering Lori Daybell in the morning. So don't miss it. Don't miss it, please. I'm on break, so I get to do it with you, get to watch with you. So thank you so much for being a part of Sebastian's Army. For those of you who went into action already today, you froze up your X, you're sending out digital flyers to people traveling, going to be stopping at rest stops in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, so many other things. And I want to thank all of you for being here. What time in the morning I will let you know. I will post an hour before it begins. I will get all that together for you. I've been on here all day. So we will take care of the Vallow case together tomorrow. I will let you know in a post, and I will see you 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for Sebastian. Okay? Bless you all. Prayers up for everyone. Be safe, and I will see you next time. Talk soon, everyone. Thank you for being here.